The classiest place on earth. It's fucking great to see all of you. Good fucking morning. I got cramps! Fuck! While curling my eyelashes. Can I just say that's a dangerous way to get cramps? Good morning, everyone. I hope you're doing fucking well. I don't know what day it is. Saturday? Happy Saturday. Normally Catter Day, but I don't have any fucking cat games to play, so I don't know what to do today. So I did a cat eye. Because bitch is clever. Good morning, sheepy. How are you, love? That is a bright ass screen. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, bright ass screen. Good morning, Angel. How are you? Good morning, Cucks. Good morning, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Good morning, Nick. I'm doing an escape room today. A prison escape. Oh, dude, is it a good, like, have you read reviews? Is it a really good one? There are some amazing fucking escape rooms out there. I've never got to do one of the really, really cool ones. But like Vissy was telling me about one that's in Oklahoma that's huge. And the only ones I've ever done, they're really small and really sad, and I get kind of claustrophobic. Like, they lock you in a tiny room with 6 people, and they're like, get out of the room. I'm like, I'm gonna kill all these people. That's how I'm gonna get out of the fucking room. But it's a cool concept. Oh, yes.
Calm the bitch down.
Wrong. Wrong.
Did you take your joy today? Never forget to take your joy, and I guarantee your day will go as smooth as velvet.
I like this band. This is a new band I found called Veggie. I really enjoy them. I'm not stuck in here with them. They're stuck in here with me. Exactly. What up, Xavier? Thank you. I literally just got it done like a week ago, a little over a week ago. And it looks, I mean, it's growing out. I can tell I'm getting roots already. It's crazy. It is insane how fast hair grows. I don't know. I feel like it takes my hair forever to grow. A week and I've got black roots. I don't know what's happening. Oh my God, Koto, how are you? I took it, but I don't think it worked. No. Should we cheers? That could help. I need to clean my bowl really quick. Boo. Sometimes, even though I'm on medication, I, for the most part, feel good. Some days I still feel bad, and I think that's okay. Not saying, like, anybody else has to feel that way, but, like, I kind of want to still feel emotions, you know? Like, I don't want to have a good day I want to have a good day every day. But if you have a good day every day, then what's a good day? You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, I feel like, and I've talked to my therapist about this a lot, like, my medication doesn't completely block my anxiety or completely, like, eliminate everything, but I think there's, like, and this is just for me, I'm in no way implying anyone else should do this, but, like, I feel like having a certain amount of emotion and anxiety in my life makes me a normal person, because normal people still experience anxiety and, depression and stuff, like normal people, you know what I mean? People that aren't on the meds we're on still experience all the same stuff. It's just they're able to get out of it. Whereas our bodies, for some reason, sabotage us and we can't get the fuck out of our anxious feeling or whatever. So I don't know. Like, I've always strived to try to be on the lowest dose possible while still maintaining. Like, I don't want to fuck myself. I'm not out here like, I'm going to be on the lowest dose possible and prove something because I'm not winning any competition with that. But you know what does that make sense? Like, I feel like I won't know when I'm happy if I'm never sad. I don't know. That's just me thinking about it a lot. Nobody fart. Oh, God. Oh, you can't have it because of work. I feel that. I've been really, really lucky. Even when I worked in hospitals, all the hospitals I worked at were really chill about colored hair. The only like stipulation, I guess, was you had to look, presentable, clean and presentable, which in my opinion, I think is pretty reasonable considering you're working in a hospital. Like, you couldn't have, I don't know. As long as you look clean and presentable. I honestly don't know what that means, but I never got in trouble, so. But some departments, no shit. I remember I worked in a surgical unit, but we would, if there was like shortages in other departments, we'd take over if, we had the skills. And so I would often get thrown in either neurosurgery or cardiac surgery. And in cardiac, the nurses told me they could not have, like, one of the nurses literally told me this one day because I had blue hair. They always would comment on my hair because they were so jealous. Because their boss, it really depends on what department you worked in and who your boss was. The hospital doesn't have, like, a rule about vivid hair or a rule about tattoos. It's all about your boss, which is great because my boss was really chill about it. But one of the nurses in cardiac told me one time that she dyed her hair like ginger, like a natural red tone. And her boss made her go home, like sent her home from her shift and told her to dye her hair back. Some people are just crazy, and I don't know why. Good morning, Jesse. Stonks are good, and I just cried all over my son yesterday for some reason because you love him. Because you love him. Shitty family members only call me when they need something. I'll help anyone that needs it, but man, it hurts. No, I totally get that. I feel that. I don't talk about it very much because it hurts. I get it. Like, I think I sit around sometimes and I'm like, how come my mom doesn't call me? Like, how come no one in my family gives a fuck about me? It's weird, but then I've gotten, like, that used to really fuck me up, and I've gotten to the point where I'm just like, it's my life. If they don't enjoy me, that's not on me. I guess. Like, I used to think, something must be wrong with me if my mom doesn't like me, but there's nothing wrong with me. It's just, some people suck. It might be us. I don't know. No such thing as sidetracking. We just started, Voodoo. We just started. You know me. We talk about all the things. Beavis and Butthead summed it up years ago. If there weren't so many shitty channels on TV, how would we know what the good ones were? Fucking A, dude. Nameless. Goddamn. That's kind of how I feel about, like, I still want to feel real emotions. I just want to be able to get out of them. I wish I had the balls to get meds, but I'm still here self-medicating with the herb and dedicated. Dude, I get that. Like, man, to this day, medicated, diagnosed, in therapy. To this day, the most difficult part about my day or about my month is having to call my therapist to make the appointment. It never gets easier, which sucks. I don't want to, like, give no hope. It never gets easier. But it's like, man, if you're like me, I get real anxious about something until I'm there in the thing, and then suddenly it's gone. And I'm like, why the fuck was I freaking out about this? Because I don't know where it comes from. We have, like, this guilt or shame about needing help. But what do doctors, why are they working? Why are they working? They are working literally because they want to help us. That's the only reason they're there. They want to help human beings. So us going and asking for help is literally just like paying them to do their job. You know what I mean? No shit, you work at a, nah. There's a gas station near me where the girls that work there are so fucking decked out, Xavier. That's fucked up. I'm not shitting you. These girls have, like, jeweled out dragon lady nails to here, makeup out to here, blue and pink hair. That's insane. It's like a 7-Eleven. That's weird. I don't usually call anyone unless I need something, but I'm usually just doing my own thing and forget to call people when they call me. I get that. I mean, none of us are perfect. Good morning, Taco. How are you? I know it ain't me. I gave them Discord. They don't want to use it. They don't want to come over when I ask. Only when something's broken, they can't fix. The guilt is so baked in, though. I know. Oh, yeah. I don't know if it ever goes away. It's just like, I think it's coming to peace with the fact that it's nothing to do with you. I think that's, like, what's worked for me. Because for the longest time, I was like, it's something I must be doing wrong or something wrong with me. And when I get over that, like, at the end of the day, I have zero control over anyone else's emotions or actions. You can give me that control over your emotions and actions, but I don't have it just, like, inherently. You know what I mean? Every emotion and every action that happens around me is on that person. They can blame it on me. They can say I instigated it, but it's on that person. Your emotions, the way you act is on fucking you, period, end of story. So taking that in mind, I gotta stop thinking like, oh, there must be something wrong with me. You know, when there's a million of us out there whose parents don't call or whatever. Like, it can't be all of us. You know what I mean? Ooh, are you, Mandel? You're getting new bipolar meds. Do you know what you're getting? I was watching your Stray VODs. Oh my god, that game was so good. I'm now more tempted to buy the game than I was before. Oh, Koto, it's so good. I cried so hard. Oh my god, that game will rip your soul out and shit on it. What a good game, though, man. Oh, Stray was so good. I had the same thing, but it was just avoiding social interactions, no shame thing. Mine is hospitals, which is super weird because I worked in hospitals for a very long time. I've grown up in hospitals. My whole family's medical. But for some reason, anytime I'm in a medical environment, like a doctor's office, a dentist's office, a clinic, anything like that, I just start to sweat out my body weight. I get so fucking anxious. And knowing that, like, the call to my therapist or the call to my doctor to get new meds is gonna require an appointment makes me go off the handle with anxiety. Like, I will shake and sweat eternally. It's so fucked up. But I mean, I've talked to my therapist about it, and he's like, "To be honest, that's everybody. Nobody feels good calling a doctor unless they're, like, a hypochondriac and they're really into that kinda shit." My dad recently asked me if I could go dog sit for 3 weeks, felt super guilt when I told him no for other reasons that I then other than I don't want to, with the excuse that the internet has he has wouldn't allow me to do WFH. I feel that spiritually. I don't dare do my makeup or wear eyeliner. Really? No shit? That is so boring. I'm so sorry. That is so lame. I take for granted that I get to do whatever I want. That sucks. It's just I think it's such an antiquated thing. I I know a lot of human beings of all different ages across the spectrum, and I've never heard someone be like, "I'm never going to that gas station again because someone wore eyeliner." You know what I mean? Like, gas stations are never gonna go away. We all need them forever. No one's gonna stop going to a gas station because of eyeliner. They're gonna go fucking get gas, you know? I don't know, that seems like a stupid rule. Good morning, Viata. How are you, love? Shall we cheers? I just loaded a bowl, and I cleaned the fuck out of my bong. Look at that shit. Look at that crystal, bitch. I put a little too much water in it, but oh well. Let us cheers, y'all. Happy Catterday, whatever today is. You know, I haven't been called for a computer in a very long time. It's been nice. Oh, man, I mean, I kinda knew it. At the very beginning of the game, when you drop down into the hole and all your cat friends are at the top and they can't come get you, I cried, and I was like, "Oh, shit. Is this game a feels game?" And all of chat was like, "Tee hee 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 hee." I didn't know, cause Zach and all those guys, they just describe it as the cat game. The cat game, that's all they ever say. So I had no idea it was so much and Sales bought it for me. He was so serious about being like, "Katie, it's not just the cat game. Play this fucking game." He gifted it to me. That's how serious it was, and it was worth every fucking second. What a beautiful game. Cheers, everybody. Calypto. Oh, I haven't heard of that one. Hold on. I'm gonna look it up. I'm curious. Calypta. Oh, yeah, it is. I was just curious. It's just a straight up bipolar med. Some meds, like, they're like categories is a different thing, but used for other stuff like Concerta and so on and so forth. Excuse me. Fuck, that's strong. First hit of the day is always hard. White coat syndrome. Right, Jesse? Thank you. And you know what's crazy? I know a ton of medical people who have white coat syndrome. I know a ton of us. It's so weird. It's the weirdest thing. Why medical staff and nurses have white coat syndrome? I don't know. Like, we should ultimately feel the most comfortable in that environment. You would think. That's why, like, seriously, when I worked at the hospital, if we ever needed to get a vaccination or like we were getting our flu shots for the year or whatever, I would do anything in my power not to have to go down to like the employee health office to get it done because it's like a doctor's office. You have to sit in an office, sit in a chair next to all these other people, wait for your name to be called, go in a special room in the back to get a shot. But if you're on shift and you're working in an ICU, chances are one of the nurses can do flu shots. Like, they can all do flu shots, but basically, like, usually there's a couple nurses, like head nurses, who are in charge of administering all the flu shots to all the employees. And if you're on shift, you could, if they're doing them, you can walk by and just be like, "Will you stab me real quick?" And they'll stab you and write your name down and you're done. That's how easy it can be to get a vaccination. And yet we make it the whole rigmarole that's so anxiety inducing in a doctor's office. And I hate it. I really miss being able to just be like, "Stab me real quick," and then walk away and just, it's over with. Ooh, fuck yes. What are you gonna color? If Chad does that to me, fuck you, I didn't bring any tissues. Dude, it hit me hard. It's really good though. It's like a warm story, and then there's like a little bit of a without spoiling it, the end of the game leads you to believe there might be a sequel, which is very exciting. It doesn't leave you off, like, as just leave you, you know? Exactly, we fucking know. White coat syndrome is the worst. I seriously, like, if I, go get my blood pressure taken by a doctor, I ask them to take it 3 times, because the first time they take it, I have hypertension. The second time, borderline hypertension. Third time, hypotension. What the fuck? Me too, Jesse, 100%. Yes, I will do that any fucking time I can. I used to do it when my mom still worked in the hospital. I just go in to visit her and randomly get my flu shot. So now that I've cut off all my hair, I can't sneak and listen while I'm at work. Oh my god, you can't hide your fucking earbuds. That sucks. No! That sucks. Angel wing plant? Ooh, a plant? That's cool. Dude, I whipped out my colored pencils the other day. I have look at this. Hold on. I was going through some of my, like, art supplies, just, like, you know, purging old stuff that I was holding on to, dried out glue and stuff like that. But I pulled out my colored pencils. It's disgusting. I have too many, and I don't color enough for this to be a thing. I can't remember the last time I used a colored pencil. Why do I have these? It's so fucking full. I guess I should color something or something. I don't know. Anybody wants some colored pens? It's just ridiculous. It's like every fucking colored pencil brand known to man in here. Derwent is in here. Prismacolor. It's insane. I should color something sometime. That's a lot. Too much. A little gluttonous, if you will. My mom was an IT professional, and after she retired, she claimed she didn't know how to do things and would panic call whenever her iPhone had an update. She pretended? What a jerk. I need an artist. For what? I know lots and lots of artists. What are you looking to get done? I have some pens from high school still too, Nick. Oh, yeah. Shit that still works. Like, if the pen still works, I have a really hard time throwing it away. I have too many art supplies. Like, I have boxes of Copic markers and colored pencils and paint and, like, watercolor pens and all. I have, like, it's ridiculous. If I'm lacking an art supply, it's shocking. Like, I'm positively flabbergasted if I don't have what someone's looking at sometime. It's disgusting. I have so much. But that's, like, my thing. I love to do crafting shit when I'm just, like, fucking around at nighttime. My Twitch emotes. I want new screen background for oh, I don't. I mean, I haven't seen Mickey in forever, but Mickey does amazing emotes. Dude, I don't anybody an emote artist? Synesthesia, he's not an emote artist by name, but he does do emotes. Man, honestly, like, what would be a hashtag to look for an emote artist on Twitter? Because I feel like that would be somewhere to like. There's got to be a hashtag to find an emote artist, right? Getting vax isn't the worst, but my doctor's office has a special day for COVID shot administration. The last time I went, they forgot to fill in my card, and the last time I went, the girl asked for it, and I told her they didn't. I told her, did they even need it? They hadn't filled it out last time. I was there, and she was like, no, bring it in, and we'll start another vax card for you with the current boosters. At least they care to help me. You know, they did the same thing to Zach. Same thing. He got his, I can't, we've had so many boosters at this point, I can't remember which one's which, but he got a booster without me one time. We've gotten everything together except one because I was sick. Like, I got some weird sinus infection or flu, and you're not supposed to get a vaccination while you're already sick, obviously. So he went by himself, and they didn't fill out his vax card. They were like, no, we don't care. We'll just give you the thing. It was weird. It was weird. I still have both of our vax cards just in case, but it was bizarre. Yeah, I don't know either, but I'm gonna keep thinking about it, Koto, because I mean, literally most of the people who have made my emotes, because my emotes are so old at this point, I haven't seen in years and literally don't like stream anymore or don't come by anymore, which is sad. But it's honestly my emotes are just really old because it's expensive. I mean, emotes are on average 35 to 50 bucks a pop. And I think emote artists deserve what they get paid, obviously. Like, it's expensive. It's a lot of work to make those tiny little fucking emotes. But goddamn, I've tried to make my own emotes and I just can't. I can't wrap my head around it. It's an art. There's something to it.
Hail Satan! Amen.
There's a YouTube channel you should see talking about high school girls keeping pens on Girls Lending Pens by Taylor Mount. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. I mean, I have a lot of pens. I'm really picky about my pens though. Like I feel like it's like bras. I'm always on the search for the perfect bra and the perfect pen. And I think that's my whole life. I have some pens that are an absolute delight to write with, but I'm always on the search for like the perfect writing utensil because I like to write. I'm very analog. Like I don't type if I can help it. um I need to burn through some money so the government can stop melting away my taxes. If I can think of someone or if anybody comes into stream, I'll mention it a couple times and I'll hit you up, Koto. Because dude, it's crazy that I just can't. Normally, I think I would know like 50 emote artists. Weird. Exactly. It's an and that's the thing. What Little Black Dress said. Twitch is an ever changing landscape of people. People with IRL lives come and go pretty fluidly. Exactly. Like I don't take it personally at all. It's just like, if it was more recent, it'd be a better chance of them still being around. I know Synesthesia still pops around every once in a while, and he made me my animated like this one. The fadeaway one. Hold on. Where's my emotes? He made this one, which is pretty dope. We forget our Vax cards one time and they just had me bring them later. That's what I just brought them. I brought both of our Vax cards with me and they had record that they had given him a booster. Like they keep all that shit like on some database thing. It's a poem. Okay, hold on. Let me. On girls lending pens. Dude, do you remember when gel pens were like the shit? Everybody wanted gel pens. Those were like, it was that and like Lisa Frank Trapper Keepers, man. That was the fucking day. My browser was frozen. That's why I wanted to write it down. Don't be a douche. It might have been updating a game though. Don't be a cock. Taylor Malley, right? Dude, I'm so confused already. I am so confused already. Just looking at this dude and like knowing it's a poem. What the fuck is happening? Viata, absolutely. I love Reese too. I know she like got in a relationship and moved and stuff. I try not to bug people because I feel like when does that I don't know. It's so weird when people like, take a break from Twitch or kind of drift away from the channel or whatever. I never want them to feel like I'm like, "Where are you? Why didn't you come by? I missed you so much and I love you." I never want people to feel like I'm attacking them. Like I want people to feel like they have their privacy. It's such a weird line to be on because I do think about people that haven't come by in a while. I think about that. Like I think about people from literally 8 years ago. It's weird. And I'm like, "Are they dead?" It haunts me. It's really weird. It's hard to find the perfect bra, honestly, I think, for anybody, because I am not a chesty girl, and there is no bra. I mean, other than, like, bralettes. I haven't had to show my Vax card one time traveling, and I've gone across seas as well. I've brought it all the times, but I've never had to show it. I went to this community functioning for a school funding raising event, and I was watching young adults and teenagers trade gel pens like a market. It's real. It's seriously, where are they? I have like glitter pens. That's what I'm more into. I don't really like the gel pens because nowadays most gel pens just dry in this weird metallic sheen that's really hard to read. So I have a lot of glitter pens in those cups. That cup has a lot of gel pens in it. Please attack me, please God. Solipsis, thank you. I really like my hair too. It's so bright and fun. Plum Fuzzball, thank you so much for some of the glass, keeping the class alive and giving a name to Swings Honeybean. I appreciate you. How are you? They used to ask for it when I was traveling to Estonia. They don't do that anymore. Koshiro, do you remember like the last time they actually asked for it? Has it been a while? Let me put it this way. They may or may not require Vax proof when you travel. Depends where you live. In the States, it's a free-for-all, but if you want to get into the UN event, you'll need it, and to let them quick test you to get in. I mean, I bring it everywhere no matter what, because I don't want to be barred somewhere because they think I didn't get vaccinated. Fuck that. I can't hear shit because it's loud here, but the guy in the booth next to us was smoking a fat blunt in the loading dock while we were getting here this morning. Fuck yes. I love you, Sinimus. We're cheersing. Sinimus cannot hear me. Where's a lighter? Just a cheers? Cheers, love. Happy Saturday, Young. How are you, love? Plum, I'm glad you're doing good. I actually slept well last night. My neck doesn't hurt, so I'm doing great. I don't know why, but for some reason, some nights I just toss and turn all night, and then I wake up with a really sore neck. Last night, not at all. Feel great. I don't know. It just went away. No shit. Last time they asked for it was late 2021, so it's almost been 2 years. Wow. Wow. I mean, the way it feels, the way like governments are treating the whole thing is basically they're like, no one's gonna listen to us anymore because everyone believes they can make their own science. So at this point, if you want to be safe, cool, but we can't force you to be safe. I feel like that's the way it is, and that's why like Biden and everyone's like COVID's over. It's people are. I literally this morning I saw on Twitter a couple I know got COVID. COVID ventilators are still full in the hospital. I don't know where the fuck they're getting that from, but honestly, I just don't think there's any way to talk people into protecting themselves unless they come to that conclusion themselves for some reason. Oh my god, it is kind of like Hades, like Disney Hades. It is a little Disney Hades without the green. It is. It's like that corpse blue color. You know, honestly, he's my like I've always wanted to gender bend cosplay Disney's Hades. I'd have to make an outfit or something because the makeup's just not that challenging. And get some like yellow contacts or something, but I've always wanted to do it because I just love him. I don't know. He was like my favorite when I was a kid. That or oh god, what's the from Hunchback of Notre Dame? Frollo? Is that his name? The evil dude? He's a badass. He scared the shit out of me as a kid, but he was badass. Having a good night's sleep is the greatest thing ever. It really is. And it's something that like I don't take it for granted when it happens. If you look on the con Discord, you can see Disnipe. Oh shit. Oh fuck yeah. Nuh-uh. Is there no masks? Hold on. I gotta open up Discord. Hold up, don't switch. Where did you put it in Discord? The lobby, probably. Hold on, I gotta see. I'm surprised. Is there not a lot of masks? Fuck, he can't hear me. I'm shocked. I wonder if there's not a lot of masks. Hold on. Where's con stuff? Don't be stupid, Discord. Don't do this today. Don't do this to me today. I'll kill you. Don't do this to me today. Oh my god, I love your mask so fucking much, though! I love your mask so fucking much, though. Those are fucking awesome. Dude, stop it. Your wife is, like... Do you just have a semi all day? I feel like I would lose blood. She's so beautiful, I can't. That's fucking great. Your masks are amazing, I love them. Most people are not. That shocks me. I'm gonna be masked in Vegas, my dudes. I'm gonna get a sequence fucking, like, super fancy one, but I'm not getting sick for a con. Are you fucking with me? And just gonna say, like, on the cosplay point, there are so many awesome characters to cosplay who wear masks. And you don't have to worry about your lipstick cracking all day. Like, what the fuck? Why get sick? Who wants to get sick? Who the fuck wants to get sick? Nobody. Any sick. No one cares anymore about the masks anymore. My facility's on its 5th round of COVID. I'm going to read this one more time for those in the back. Jesse Robbins just said, my facility is on its 5th round of COVID since I started working there 4 months ago. I don't have to say it right. What the fuck? Wow. Dude, right, Viata? We have 3 people out of work right now with COVID. Newsflash, pandemic's not over. It's a permanent pandemic until people stop being idiots. Good morning, Conrun. How are you, love? I think vaccination is for me, not so much for the public. I'm at high risk. I have multiple risk factors, and asthma is one of them. I just want a chance to survive COVID if I get it. Same. 100%. I don't even have an immunocompromised. I'm not like immunocompromised, but I would like to A, not get COVID or just fucking be safe. Like, I don't want to be that person that passes COVID to a little girl or an immunocompromised person and kills them. That's not going to be me. I'm not going to be that person. And it's really easy not to be that person. It's, like, dumb easy, and it's not a fucking political thing. That's nuts, Sinimus. Right, Frollo was fucking crazy. Frollo was insane. Like, he was straight up a priest that was like, either I'm gonna fuck that gypsy girl or nobody's gonna fuck that gypsy girl. I'm gonna set her on fire. Like, whoa, Disney. Whoa. Oh, it's moving day. Shut up. 30 centimeters of snow. You should move fast. Oh no. Good morning, Bolvi. How are you? I love that. Sinimo, that's what I'm thinking about doing for Vegas. What Sinimo said, Dis makes masks to match her cosplay sometimes. Oh my god. Can we get a bang for Dis? I would love that. She does epic cosplay, and she does it on stream. She makes a lot of her outfits and shit on stream. She struggles with the same thing I do, i.e., we both have this fucking new Elgato camera that doesn't autofocus worth a fucking shit. But she tries, and she does an I mean, the outfits are always incredible. It's just like, you know, it's so hard to do a cool video with these fucking cameras. It's endemic, yeah. It's basically like flu. Like, we're gonna all have to get boosters and shit for the rest of our lives until enough people. I mean, there's no such thing as herd immunity if no one gets immunity. You know what I mean? And the problem is, a lot of people think they get immunity by getting COVID. Like, I saw someone earlier say, I didn't know you could get it 5 times. So, you guys know, I'm not gonna fucking beat into you about viruses. I've talked about viruses so many fucking times on my stream. I feel like I'm treating you like you're stupid, and you're not stupid. But viruses are not alive, and they cannot proliferate. They can't fuck and go on without a host. They must have a host. And so the problem with viruses is that every time they infect, so if I got COVID and then I coughed on Zach and he got COVID from me, say I got COVID from someone named Tom. So I got COVID T. When I catch it, because that COVID uses my RNA and my DNA actually of my cells to replicate itself, it now becomes COVID TK, Tom Katie. And now when I pass it to Zach, because it's going to have to mingle with his RNA and DNA to replicate itself within him and make him sick, now it's TKZ. It's Tom Katie Zach COVID. So every single time people are getting COVID repeatedly, they're getting a different virus strain because of that fucking. Imagine that on an exponentiated level. And that's basically what happened when people made vaccinations political. So now at this point, the strains are so numerous and so fucking evolved, it's impossible to trace them and create any sort of herd immunity. We've lost that chance altogether. So it's become a flu shot kind of situation at this point because it's just going to be different every single year forever. Good morning, LZT. How are you, love? Southern Belle, thank you. How are you? Here in the Southeast US, I rarely see anyone else in a mask. Occasionally elderly people, but that's about it. It's a great way to get insulted. It's crazy. I see most people that work in like gas stations or the pot shop or places like that where you're like up with people like this, they all wear masks still. Fucking tourists keep bringing that shit here. Ugh. Good day, Metal. How are you? Happy glutes indeed. How are you, Vex? Oh, I didn't change my stream title. That's my bad. The makers and crafting category is impossible to fucking find. Dude, all of the creative categories went away. They're unfindable. I just got over COVID a few weeks ago during the 4th round at work. Jesse Robbins, you're on the 4th? No shit. That's insane. The 4th round. Oh, no, you almost went to the ER. Oh my god, I'm so happy you're okay. Oh my fuck. What were your symptoms? I'm over 6 foot and burly as fuck. People don't insult me or throw things at me without expecting me to get a face full of fierce. Yeah, I don't really get confronted either because I am 6 foot and not small. So people do not challenge me unless they're drunk and in a bar for some reason, which is nice. But I understand how like I know some people live in areas where a mask is it's almost like flying a fucking Confederate flag. It's like a hella political symbol, and people will just attack you for it. Whereas where we live, it's more like people just don't talk to you unless they're like-minded people, you know? Like, if they see you with a mask, they're probably like, oh, shit, yeah. Then they'll talk. Like, you know who's been vaxxed by just who will talk to you. My boss tested positive last Thursday. Fuck, I worked with him face-to-face, harvesting 60 pounds with a mask on. Oh, my fuck. Thank fuck. I've tested negative every day. I'm so happy because that shit is fucked. I'm still seeing arguments, people saying things like, "Oh, it causes CO2 buildup in your system and you get lightheaded and you're more likely to get sick if you wear a mask." I'm still seeing that shit. And I just don't have I don't know what to say anymore. How do you think surgeons and medical staff survive all day with all the masks we wear if it's truly causing all of these issues you have invented in your little peeny brains? Like, just sit for a moment and think before you speak out loud, and then you don't have to be proved wrong. Like, if you just shut the fuck up. My dad used to say it to us all the time. What was it? Better to be thought a fool than to speak and remove all doubt. Spark a clock, apparently. Dogs, they're the best. My great Steam Deck game, if you like Dead Cells or Hades, Have a Nice Death is amazing. Oh, dude, I think Zoe bought me Have a Nice Death literally when it was still, like, in beta. I'm obsessed. I've played so much of that game. It's really, really good. It's a great little roguelite. Yeah, it's fantastic. How do they think mouth-to-mouth resuscitation works? I don't think they think. I do not think, honestly, Vex, I don't think they stop to just have a moment to be like, think before we speak. Because the problem is, I think a lot of people, like, hear one thing, decide that's what they believe, and then they just start repeating it over and over. And then when someone presents them with proof that that is false bullshit, now they're wrong. And they can't be wrong, so they just keep touting the same bullshit. But if you just shut the fuck up and, listen for a while before you start, then we avoid that situation. You know what I'm saying? Belief is a strong fucking word. You got attacked at a convenience store the other day because I wore a red heartless symbol on my mask. What the fuck? And they thought it was a Confederate symbol? How, where did that thought come from? I get coffee and phlegmy wearing a mask, but it beats getting C19. Same. Hard same. Mergs. I feel that spiritually. Like, I'm coffee and phlegmy all the time. I Every time I go to a store, I sit there and I feel like I need a mask that just says, "Don't worry, I just smoke a lot of pot." I need a mask that just says that. Straight up, knitted on the front, like in bright ass glowing letters that blink. Cause I always have a Fleming. I'm always sickly, nasty, like sinusy, and I smoke a lot of pot. I know, Solipsis. It's the time. Being a receptionist at the dispo, I found not many folks will challenge my mask because I can kick them out before they buy anything. I love that. You have the power. Masks are stupidly political in Appalachia. Really? I travel back and forth along the mountain range from WV to SC to work for work on a regular basis. I don't get bothered mostly covered in tattoos, and I wrestle steel pipe for a living. And I think I'm kind of the same. Like, there is something to be said about being 6 feet tall, not small, and covered in tattoos with bright blue hair. The mask is not what people notice on me first, I think. And so by the time they get to the mask at my face, they're like, I don't know why. I mean, I can go through a lot of pain. Maybe that's what they see. I don't know. I've seen it happen to other people literally in my vicinity, but no one has ever come at me for wearing a mask. Fevers, chills, non-productive coughing. Fuck, that's the worst. Hurt to breathe. My SpO2 went down to 90 fucking 4. Oh my God. I drank a lot of body armor drinks and took albuterol breathing treatments. How much were you taking a day? Dude, I'm so glad you're better. Fuck, dude. Non-productive is the worst. The dry hack. Fuck. Koto, it's just some people are very, like, volatile, and I think a lot of people, especially in this environment we're in these days where, like, politics are fucked up and our world is fucked up and Florida has banned science and so on and so forth, it's like people have a lot of, like, tension and aggression and anger inside, and they're just looking for an outlet, like, subconsciously. Have you ever met someone like that? They're just inherently angry, and because you happen to, like, step on their toe, you are now the outlet for all the things that have pissed them off for the past 7 days. I feel like that happens a lot because as a society, we are not taught how to deal with emotions. We're taught to mask, smile, put on a face. Can you just get over it today for the rest of the family? We're all having a great time and you're really bringing us down. That mentality is so fucking pervasive in our country. You know what I mean? David, 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 David. How are you doing, love? Good morning. No shit. Can you oh, your poor son. I was at the VFW yesterday, and the table next to me was talking politics the whole time. Oh, I hate that. I don't know. I'd never try to talk politics, religion, that kinda shit. You never know who's listening, and I'm not out here to hurt feelings. My education level's subpar. The only know-how I need is the good book. And there she lusted after her paramours, whose members were those of horses and whose emissions were those of donkeys. Ezekiel something something. I have a mask that I stitched. Pack a day for 25 years onto my oh my god, I love that. It's like you have to, because if you cough in public, people look at you like, and it's like, bitch, stop. I smoke a lot of pot. We're in Colorado. Get out. Q6, dude. Did it help like get anything out of you, or was it strictly non-productive, just like bronchospasm across the board? That is the worst, dude. I hate having a patient like that because I feel so bad. There's nothing I can't even suck anything out of them. Between traveling in our own car bubbles and keeping to one's corner of the internet, it can be hard to get human interaction for some. 100 yes. I feel that way. I mean, if I didn't live with someone else, I really wouldn't see humans more than once a week. Other humans, other than like watching streams and stuff, I wouldn't see anybody IRL if I didn't live with a human. Really. Because I don't have a need to go out and I don't really enjoy going out. The moment I'm in my car, I'm like, I want to be home now. Not me. I'll bring any party to a halt with my trademark shitty attitude. I doubt that highly. I picture you the one on the couch with a cat. Donkey emissions. Ezekiel 3, surely. That I fella. Tune it up, ruin everyone's day. I don't know about that, David. I don't know about that. I feel like you wouldn't be the party. Every party needs a pooper, but that's not why we invited you. I think we should be able to have amicable conversation about the hard things in life, like pineapple on pizza and how we're subject to capitalism regardless of what we do. 100% agree. Also, I really like pineapple on pizza, but I grew up close to Canada where like Hawaiian pizza was invented and is pretty popular, so maybe it's just that I'm more adventurous than you. Same. David, question. Do you know anyone in the Twitch space currently that is an emote artist? I honestly, I don't know who's currently like doing emotes like for money, which is crazy. It's been so long since I bought emotes, but Koto in chat is looking for an emote artist, and I said I would put my feelers out. Do you know anyone in the creative space doing emotes right now? Because I don't. It's weird. It's just been so long since I got emotes. David, I know. Well, the creative section's dead, but like, I'm gonna ask everyone I know from creative that comes by today because it's so weird. But like, emote artists used to be on the creative channel all the time, so you would find them really easily, and now it's like, I can ask Zach. Who does Zach's? A lot of people do Zach's emotes actually. I don't know if he has like a set artist that does his emotes. Good morning, Kendo. How are you, love? Happy Saturday. Thank you for the biddies, you generous hoe. I appreciate you. It's not that I don't want to come into contact or deal with other deal with other people. I just stay in my house playing games and on Twitch for social outlet. Works for me. Same. Same. Like this is my social. I feel like I'm talking to people all day long. I learn lots of things. I make friends. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm lacking too much, but I know there is something like in our mammalian selves that craves, social, like in-person social interaction on a subconscious level. Like we are like, what would you call that? Like herd animal, not a herd animal, but we are like community type creatures. We've just created a weird culture where we're not so close anymore. And I think that we don't really have safe places for people to go that's free to just hang out and meet people. It's like everywhere you go, you have to buy something or pay to get in everywhere just to meet somebody or you're loitering. And it's like, it's kind of weird how our world's created that environment. Tribal. I feel like I need more fruits on my pizza if I'm also going for banana. Banana on pizza. I once got called back to the manager because he didn't believe I'd add anchovies to my vegetarian. I get oat milk lattes with whipped cream on them. I always get funny looks. I'm like, I'm not allergic. And I don't hate myself. She blamed hurricanes? Did she really? Why? Okay, wait. Where did they how? I like the idea of just chatting with you would be referred to as a boyfriend dungeon. Oh my god, are we still in boyfriend dungeon right now? The game? God damn it. Boyfriend dungeon's what I call my mod closet. I I ran late this morning because I got cramps. I forgot to change my category. Thank you for letting me know. I did not know. We might play Boyfriend Dungeon today, though. I don't know. We've been playing um, 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 Stray on Saturdays because it's Catterday, and I don't have any cat-themed games anymore to play. So, like, I did a cat eye on my eyeliner. That's as catty as we got. I don't know what to do. I looked through my own games. I don't have any games that, like, there's a cat. I don't know what to do. She's from Ohio and moved to Louisiana. She don't get it yet, I think. Oh, bless her heart. The Hurricanes aren't able to issue those places aren't profitable, but I'm not getting 5,150 days for trying to talk to her about that. Yeah. Wait, is that days? Wait. When you and Seek your asses over here, you will see the strangest pizza toppings. Banana curry peanuts on curry and peanuts I've had. Banana though. I don't think I've ever had anything that included banana that was like a hot thing other than like banana bread. I've had plantains, but those are not bananas. Banana on it's cooked. I don't know about cooked banana. It's mushy. That's my thing, the texture. But we have some weird pizzas over here too. There was a place in my hometown, not my hometown, my college town. It was called La Fiamma Pizza, and all of their pizza was weird. But one of my favorite pizzas they did, it had broccoli, carrots. It sounds so weird to say. Broccoli, carrots. It had a whole like menagerie of really weird veggies on it, and then the sauce was curry sauce, and then they did a drizzle of sriracha over it, and then like a sprinkle of vegan cheese because at the time I wasn't doing dairy. It was fucking phenomenal. Oh, and there was something else on it. It was like sweet. There was some sort of weird sweet. I'm just like tasting it in my mouth. I don't know what it was though. Maybe there was like a teriyaki sauce or something. It was really good. Oh, it was delicious. They had a ton of different pizzas like that though. It's one of the I mean not you can't go to Pizza Hut and get a pizza like that. Like the chain pizza places are never going to have that, but there are unique pizza places in the US that do good like just, you know, pizzas that aren't just fucking cheese and pepperoni, which is great on a Saturday night at 2 a.m. when I'm stoned out of my mind and really hungry. But like sometimes I'm looking for something unique, something with a different flavor in it. Once a blood moon. Dude, I've been playing a video game literally every day. I'm addicted to Boyfriend Dungeon. No shit, Merkel. It's so weird. I like to have like two people around me. It's so relaxed. Can sit on the couch with a blanket and TV on and laugh together. When I'm at work, I hate it for most people are so fucking false. Yes, we talk about that a lot. You've probably heard me talk about it before, but like those friends of yours that you can sit in complete silence with and you don't feel guilty that you're not entertaining them and you're both just relaxed, having a good time. That's kind of how I feel about my channel. That's how I feel about our community. Like about Twitch in general a little bit. I I don't hang out in streams where a streamer gives you shit for not like answering them if they call you out or something like that. Like I think that's weird. Call out streamers are weird. But you know what I mean? It's like this wonderful social atmosphere where we can come and go as we please. You don't have to say goodbye. You don't have to say hello. You can you know what I mean? You can just sit and listen and no one knows. You know what I mean? You can lurk is the word we've invented for it, but you know what I mean? It's just this wonderful like be as social as you want and leave without any obligations to anyone. No one feels bad. There's no guilt. Like it's just like I love it. I love that. I love a good Irish goodbye, and it's a wonderful environment. I don't know. It's that sauce. I was introduced to banana pizza by a Brazilian streamer. I've not got around to trying it yet, but I'm up for it. What else was on it? It was what else was on the pizza? It's just the mushiness. If you've ever made banana bread and like a big chunk of banana misses getting mushed up and it's in the bread, it's like getting a pustule in your mouth. Mm. Hangman, I think you're right. I think it was honey. Because it wasn't overtly sweet. Like for some reason, my brain was like cinnamon sugar. No, I think it was honey. I think you're absolutely right. Kind of goes with the theme of like the Middle Eastern stuff. Make a steak sandwich because you can. Life is short. Was the veggies was steamed or were they grilled in the oven? They were grilled. So they still were a little crunchy, but they were like caramelized on the outside. That was also so it's so weird to say carrots on a pizza, but they were like carrot rounds, sliced rounds, and they had grill marks on them. So the carrots were pre-grilled before they went on the pizza. And it like carrots are really high in sugar, and if you grill them, they're fucking phenomenal. I don't know what it is. I'm a big nerd. I love veggies. I'm a veggie nerd. But you grill them and it like caramelizes the outside of the carrots. That also added to it. It was a really good pizza. If you ever I mean, I'm sure there's gotta be recipes out there. La Space Fiamma was the restaurant, Bellingham, Washington. They have a lot of weird pizzas. They had one too that was like, it was like Kalamata olives, red onions, goat cheese crumbles sprinkled on top of it, and it had some sort of like pesto sauce or something. Fuck, they were good. They were just good, and it was all thin crust, like thin. You could pick the pieces up with your hand and eat it, kind of pizza. If I'm going for a deep dish, I'll order a fucking deep dish. If I get a pizza and I have to eat it with a fork, I'm angry about it. Just the same, tomato sauce and cheese with banana. Ooh. Ooh, buffalo chicken pizza's good. I'm not a huge fan of buffalo sauce, but buffalo chicken pizza is delicious. I think it's the cheese that, like, mellows it out. Would be a little weirder if you just sat there quiet than if you did that on, like, your couch with your friend. True. The few channels I frequent, I lurk 90% of the time. Me too. Seriously. Most of the channels that I hang out in are friends of mine I know for years or new friends that I've found out. And I usually say like, "Hi, how are you?" And then I get up from my computer and I start going and doing stuff. But I've got them on my speaker. I'm sitting there listening like I treat most streams like a podcast, which is why when some people will be like, "I'm sorry, Katie, I didn't talk a lot today. I was just lurking." Like don't ever feel sorry. Don't ever feel bad about that. That is me. Like that is what I do. I hate typing. Soggy and moist and goopy. Mm. Guilt is if you did something you can get arrested for or were rude. Ugh, I don't like rude people. There's no need. Me too, Ann Mosier. It's happened like twice ever that I actually I don't think it's ever happened to me because I'm like weird. I don't want that gooey weird piece of fucking like banana cum in my banana bread. So I put it in my Vitamix and like the banana. I make it real fucking smooth, but I love good banana bread. It's perfect on stream, right? It's just like it's relaxing. I don't know. Milk and peanut butter pizza. Okay, cucks though, for real. One of the weirdest ingredients I've ever had on another food was peanut butter on a cheeseburger. Don't turn your nose up at it. Do it. It's really good. I don't know why. Another weird restaurant that used to be in my college town, it actually closed down while I was in college, sadly. I think the owner just sold it and it became like a sushi place. But literally, it was like a smash burger with a fucking plop of peanut butter on it. And it was phenomenal. I don't know. I cannot explain the combinations of none of it should go together. None of that should go with peanut butter, but it does. Try it. It's really fucking good. Fried veggies are great, period. Amen to that. Roasted parsnips do the same. Yes. I literally did not eat a parsnip for the first time in my whole life up until like 4 years ago, Lena. I didn't know what to do with them. They look like a radish, kind of. They kind of look like some other tuber vegetable, but they're not a potato. And I had no idea what to do with them. And my mom is a very picky eater, so we did not have adventurous food growing up. Like, we grew up off military rations because her father was in the military and that's just what she knew how to cook, which is fine. I loved it. But I had to, like, go buy fucking parsnips and, it's parsnips and, I mix them up. What was the other one called? It's parsnips and there's another tuber vegetable that's good. Radishes are good, but I wouldn't cook a radish. But anyways, I went and got them and I roasted them. I did like a pan sheet where you like.
Come out.
Zoe, hold on.
I'm gay.
Fohammer_419 tipped $5. CK, I dreamed I was stuck in a dungeon wrapped in moist linen next to Elon Musk's rocket glory hole with some savory meat muffins as an appetizer before the main course of Furby Bussy Hot Pockets before the gay ghost Velociraptor Jesus BF8 my boleu.
Calm the bitch down.
You have the most exciting life. The Furby Bussy Hot Pocket. You bite into the Hot Pocket. It just starts talking. Nope. Oh my God. I love you, Zoe. Thank you. Oh my God. We have to make a book out of these someday. Thank you, Coven. I just got it done a week ago. I used to go to this hot dog place that had a hot dog with creamy peanut butter, back sriracha and honey on it. It was sublime. Yes, bacon. I totally knew what you meant, bacon. So was this burger had bacon, and I think you're right. It's something about the salty sweet. I don't know. I would never ever venture to put peanut butter on a cheeseburger by myself, but I do now because it's delicious. Hello, station. How are you? Good morning. I really like radishes. Dip them in like ranch or something like that, especially a good fresh radish out of the garden. A smash burger, little black dress. So there's if you went to like Red Robin or Bob's or I'm trying to think of other burger chains that are like sit down restaurants where your burger is like a big, thick, fucking like meaty bitch. And then you go to like more fast food places. There's literally a restaurant called Smash Burger where they're like really thin patties and kind of usually the default burger usually comes with two patties. The regular, you have to ask for only one patty. Those are smash burgers, and they literally make them by making a ball of meat, throwing it on the grill, and then they have a flat. It looks like to me. It looks like the thing you use to scrape spackle. It looks like a spackle spreader, but it's literally a huge metal like sometimes there's what's the word? The iron. Oh my god. Why am I like this? Like the black pans that you take cooking. What are those made out of? My brain. Cast iron. Oh my god. Wow. Did you just watch my brain die in front of you? Cast iron. Wow. They're usually heavy in cast iron, right? Yeah, it's usually a cast iron weight and it's shaped like a circle and they put it on that ball of meat that they threw on the grill and they push it down flat. They literally smash the burger. But that weight, the cast iron weight, was already on the grill, so it's as hot as the grill. Does that make sense? So literally, they're basically taking something off the grill that is a cast iron and it as hot and smashing that down, and it cooks both sides of the burger evenly and makes it kind of like it's juicy on the inside but crispy. Like you kind of get that weird crisp on the outside of the burger. I fucking love a good smash burger. Big fucking fan. That's my favorite burger. Thank you. I'm sorry, that was cast iron. Wow. Wow. I felt my brain dying in that moment. That was terrible. I've only had one cup though. It's so pale. Put too much cream, too much oat milk in it. My father's climbing club swore by strawberry jam and sardine sandwiches. The sardines had to be in cod liver oil. Oh no, man. That is like I'm all about sweet and savory, but that is so much flavor in one bite. Oh my god. Yep, it's basically seared medium rare. Exactly. They're fast cooking the burger as opposed to like leaving it on the grill for a certain amount of minutes and then just flipping it and you've got like a big fat juicy burger. Big fat, there's nothing wrong with it, but I fucking love a smash burger. It's because they get that nice crispiness on the outside. It might just be an American thing. I don't know. There's literally restaurants that I've seen in various states called Smash Burger. Like they're called Smash Burger, but smash burgers themselves have been a staple across the US for quite some time. I don't think Smash Burger invented smash burgers. And they're not that great, to be honest. They're kind of overpriced in my opinion. Exactly. If done right, it's the perfect burger. The secret to the great barbecue sauce is grape jelly. No joke. Really, sweets add a certain something to savory spices. I believe that. I believe that. I mean, I'm thinking like when you eat lamb, you usually eat it with some sort of like a cranberry sauce or an elderberry or lingonberry sauce or mint jelly or something like that. Like, there's a lot of meats that we put sweet things on. I mean, we fucking put ketchup on meatloaf for fuck's sake. Cod liver oil is amazing, but the flavor of that mixed with like a sweet jelly and then the saltiness of the sardines, it's just like I feel like my mouth would not know what to do with all of that flavor at one time. You know what I mean? It's just like everything in that is so strong. Peanut butter and pickle sandwiches are phenomenal. Fucking nominal. And I don't know why. My mom got me hooked on those when I was a kid. I like strawberry jam too. You're hurting me. I hear you about having a picky mom. I was an adult before I had any veggies that weren't potatoes or canned corn. Uh-huh. I didn't the most ethnic I'd ever had in my life before I went to college was Mexican food. Like the chain Mexican food, like Ixtapa or Azteca or so on and so forth. That was the most ethnic food I'd ever had in my entire life before I moved out. And then I was like, Indian food, sushi. Oh my God, the world. And my mom to this day, she won't even go to a sushi restaurant. She can't be in the presence of other people eating that shit. She's so picky. It's weird. She can't eat tomatoes. Like I literally went 18 years of my life thinking I didn't like tomatoes. I fucking love tomatoes. She brainwashed me. I put ketchup on my ketchup. I have a really weird home video somewhere at my mom's house of my sister sensually licking ketchup off of a plate. She doesn't know. She didn't know I was filming at the time. Ketchup on meatloaf is a crime. It's like it's a common thing here. I don't know. I grew up with it. So we're used to it. I don't know. You put it on and then you bake it. So like the ketchup like bakes into it and creates like a sweet kind of like crusty layer on top. I don't know. I fucking love meatloaf so much. It's such a dumb, weird, American, strange, like war food, but it's really good. I also like shit on a shingle. I'm very basic. I like most foods, to be honest. We have a local burger restaurant that offers smash burgers. Ooh, and I wonder what that is. I've not seen them before. Oh, you should try one. You should try one if that sounds good to you. Like, a burger that's thinner with like crispy edges on it. I think they're really, really good. I also have kind of a small mouth, and it's hard for me to get my mouth around a big burger. I can't stand when I get a sandwich and I basically have to eat it in quadrants of 4 because I quite literally like can't get it in my mouth. So I'm a big fan of a burger I can actually fit in my mouth reasonably. That's nice. Meatloaf is a crime. I know. Most foods are a crime. We bastardize a lot of shit these days. I've had steak with Thousand Island dressing. I don't know about that. I've seen steak before with sardines on it. I did not order it though. Plum sauce is another one. Yes, plum sauce for pork and stuff like that. Oh yeah. Both pickles and PB are umami, and the acid pickle juice is amazing. Is that what it is? Is that what the flavor is? I've never really thought about it. I guess that would be like the umami thing, right? That undescribable good. I grew up in a boiled vegetable household. Oh, Lizzie, I'm so sorry. I mean, same though. Honestly, Lizzie, the reason I wasn't exposed to a lot of veggies as a kid, like literally we got like canned corn, canned peas, and like maybe an iceberg lettuce salad, maybe. I'm not hating on my parents. Like they fed us. Obviously, I'm 6 feet tall and quite thick. Like they fed us fine. I'm doing great. Um, but it was because that was the only way my mom knew how to cook them. She had no idea. So, like, I went to college and then started, experiencing the world of food. And I think it was the first Thanksgiving I came home from college. I'm like, Mom, we're going to do Brussels sprouts. And she's like, oh, absolutely not. We fucking cannot stand that. Like, none of those. The smell alone. And I'm like, no, no, no. We're going to cook them good. And I sliced them in half, tossed them in a Ziploc bag with olive oil and all these spices and shit, put them on a sheet and roasted them. So they got all like crispy and fucking just like the way Brussels sprouts are supposed to be. And it blew her mind. And she makes them regularly now. It was just because she didn't know. And if you think about it, our parents didn't have like fucking YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, so on, so blah, 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 showing us all these kitchen hacks by 17-year-olds that should wear more clothes. So I understand why they didn't have the exposure. And if you don't like sometimes my accent comes out and I fucking hate it. Boiled Brussels sprouts. I can speak English, I swear. Aaron. Boiled Brussels sprouts are fucking foul. They smell like a fart died inside of a skunk. I get it. Like, I would stay away from those too. She just didn't know. Small mouth. You wouldn't think so? But it's like I think my teeth are really narrow because I've never been able to get my mouth around a fucking burger. It's annoying. Oh, chicken biryani is incredible, though. Oh, yum. Yes. Yum. Chuck roast slow cooked with peppers and ranch dressing is pretty awesome. Dude, I've done so many like slow cooker recipes where it's not just the dressing, it's the packet of ranch spice. Like it's these quick meals, back when I was in college, I'd put like a pork roast in the slow cooker and put a packet of ranch seasoning in it with like water and veggies and shit. Just let it go all day while I was at school. It was phenomenal. Meatloaf and au gratin, potatoes. We meatloaf in Sweden too. It was a big thing growing up. It's an easy way to feed a lot of people and get them full because usually meatloaf has breadcrumbs in it and it bulks it out, makes it like more substance without adding more meat. And I had 8 siblings, so that was a lot of people to feed. And my mom was an RT making like $5 an hour. My dad worked construction. So I'm grateful they fed us, to be honest. I'd rather be fed meatloaf than nothing. I love a I like a burnt marshmallow too, cucks. If the marshmallow doesn't have black on it, I'm not in. Take a French bread, cut out the center, brush garlic butter on the inside, place a single strip of lasagna, the noodle, just the noodle, and then top a pasta sauce and meat mixed together and top with, oh my God, that sounds so good. Seriously, Jack, it's so bad. Thank you, Brock. I just got it done. I let the lady do whatever she wanted. I did not pick this, but she did a really good job. Speaking of putting weird things on steak, thin round steak pan fried with Montreal seasoning, plated with and topped with maple syrup. Dude, maple syrup on bacon and eggs is good. Why wouldn't it be good on everything else? I'm all about it. Candied eggs. Grew up with that shit. Our parents worked off their parents' recipe books. Exactly. And my grandparents' recipe books were like the Depression. You know, like my Nana cooked like it was the Depression, and that's all my mom knew. We literally lived on shit on a shingle, like, a lot. Not with hardtack. She'd put it on, like, mashed potatoes or noodles, but when you don't know any better and you don't have any exposure, like, the fuck you gonna do? At least we were fed. I used to get oh, wait, hold up. Chicken breast with mayo, smash it out, dry brine it, slam it on a hot griddle cast iron, done in 3 minutes. I believe that. Mayo is literally isn't it just oil, vinegar, and egg? For my household, it's because my dad and my sister are autistic and their preference was plain food, which is totally fine. But in an undiagnosed household of neurodivergence, little ADHD was like, but where's the spice? That's my mom and dad. I don't know. Like, neither of them have been to counseling ever, and they're pretty private people, but they are the same. They do not like spice. Nothing. My dad does not like spice. My dad hates rice. So anything that they didn't like, we just were not exposed to. Like, we were exposed to salt and pepper. Salt and pepper was your spices. That was their spices. Like, that was it. I totally get that. Yeah. And now I'm like, I douse everything in hot sauce. Yes. Yeah, the packets. It's amazing what they can do. When I was a kid, the only olive oil we had came from the chemist for putting in your ear. Garlic was highly toxic. Oh my God. Wait, did they put garlic in your ear? Is this an age thing that conversations just turn into food talk real fast? Maybe. I don't know. It might be the time of day too. Everybody's like waking up and getting moving because it's a Saturday and they're like hungry. I love roast because it's got high iron count, and if you're tired of stewed spinach, it's a nice alternative. 100%. Any cruciferous vegetable, right? I think honestly, Murgle, if you're looking to get iron in you, I learned this when I was vegan. This song is annoying to me. Sorry, Hypnotic. You're a little too like. Anyways, broccoli has more iron per ounce than a steak. More digestible iron than a steak, which is pretty crazy. Hello, Safi, my love. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on chat. We need to take a break because it's about to fucking run an ad. I hate it. Called Burger Time, based after the video game. Oh, I love that. They make all kinds of crazy burgers and hot dogs. Yes! A breakfast burger, though? Shut up. A burger with a big, nasty egg on it. Mm-hmm. Hikaru, you actually made it and it was good. Oh, hell yeah. Koto, I'm thinking I tried to find some sort of cat-themed game, but I can't find one, so we might just play more Boyfriend Dungeon today. Get some boyfriends. It's pretty fucking fun. See, Zerkly, I just got it done. Thank you. Shit, I love shit on a shingle, dude. It's literally Hamburger Helper. That's all it is, if you think about it. Like, Hamburger Helper took shit on a shingle and made it expensive. You're buying a spice packet if you're buying Hamburger Helper. Like, just fucking get some hamburger, some flour, some butter, and your choice of bottom. Noodles or potatoes. You're done. Did I ever give you all my burger recipe? I don't think so. Like, for the meat? Is it egg whites? Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat was a really, really cool series. She's a smart woman. That woman that would, like, talk about the food and shit, the main lady, I can't remember her name. I'm autistic and I hate plain food. I will not eat plain food. Like, I don't think, I don't know what else I am. I'm diagnosed with a lot of fucked up shit, but if something is boring, I just won't eat it. It's terrible. Like, I could be starving, but if the food is dull, I'll just put it down and starve. Because my brain's like, there's not enough stimulation here or something. Like, I'm over it. It's not worth the chewing effort. I used to like salty chicken due to that whole table spices thing. I like salty everything. I love American labels for food. It literally says, listen to this American packaging. Taste of Inspirations, Cracker Cuts, Hard Salami. We have some weird shit, to be honest. We do. However, fun. Okay, we need to take a break, but when I get back, I learned. And if you're one of my lovely English friends and you know this, don't say it. Don't spoil it for the dumb Americans. I learned why bangers are called bangers. And it has nothing to do with a sausage looking like a penis. which was mildly disappointing. Could have at least been more interesting. All right. Real quick break, and I'll take my poopy outside. Yeah? Wanna go outside? Such a handsome boy. Wanna go outside? Oh! Yes, we do. All right. Stand up, stretch your dicks, get a drink, load a bowl, do what you must. I shall be back in a few. The show I saw last night, The Ocean at the End of the Lane from 2013 novel of the same name by Neil Gaiman. Oh, I love Neil Gaiman. Was one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life. The stage production, the use of the stagehands. Oh, it was a legitimate like play. Oh, sick. The stage production, the use of the stagehands, the dreamlike state, and the otherworldliness achieved by lights and music. They even had water fabrics over the audience. I feel like it would have been right up the streets. Some of the people, dude, sick. I'm definitely gonna have to check that out. Fuck yes. Ooh, short version of the burger recipe. Ground beef, chopped onion, shredded Colby Jack cheese, yum. Minced garlic, A1, soy sauce, Worcestershire, and caramelized onion, yum. Yeah, I'd fuck that. Yep. I'd fuck that up voluntarily. Mm-hmm. My dad used to do a cheese. My stepdad, when we were kids, he'd do burgers where he'd put cheese in the middle of them. So it would like burst out of the middle when it got all gooey and melty when he cooked the burgers. They were so fucking good. What the fuck? Wait. What the hell is this? Wait. Wait! Do they say onion?
We dice an onion. Big onion. Look at that. Woo! To the good onion. Good onion is a heavy onion. So it's 6-pound onion. It's also an onion where the onion is put. This is the tip of the onion. The onion is not the knife around the onion. Remove the pepper skin
It's
of
the
the onion.
onion.
We dice an onion. An onion. Cut the onion in half on the onion. An onion. Then the onion with onion. Onion right here. Onion. The onion.
I didn't know that existed. But it's onion. I just like to say words bad. That's a Juicy Lucy. My dad used to make them. They're really good. Or he'd put blue cheese on the burger. Yum. Onion. I like the way he says onion. It's exciting. We should say words uniquely. I don't know why people like. I self-admittedly used to be what some people, again, this is just the term did not age well, but we used to refer to people as grammar Nazis. I don't use that anymore for obvious reasons. I'm trying not to be an ignorant cunty child. But I used to be very much like, oh my God, you missed the comma. That's the wrong there. And I just don't know why I was like that because who the fuck cares? If I can get through your sentence and figure out what the fuck you're trying to say, why am I being a pretentious cunt about the spelling or the grammar of it? You know?
Hail Satin.
Grammar dictator. That's a better way to put it. Yeah, I don't know. We were ignorant cunts. Small children. Didn't know things. A fun fact about meatloaf. In Denmark, we call it fake hair because meatloaf does not, in fact, contain any hair. I mean, by that logic, you could call it anything, really. Oh my God, Kendo, that happens to me all the time. Bangers, thank you for reminding me. So, I learned, the English may know this already because it is an English thing, but what I learned was back in the like Victorian era, what some butchers would do to expand their meat supply is they would add water to the meat. So as they ground it, they would add water. And then as they stuffed the casings, the water would be in the casings, like the sausage casings. They'd tie them off, let them dry, whatever. But then when you went to boil them, they would literally explode like a bomb and kill you and all your family. Going bang. Y'all are morbid with your fucking food titles, just saying. The hell? And mash. Bang and mash! Yeah, bang. That's it. They would explode and kill you. Like boiling hot fucking greasy water all over you. Horrible. And it was if you bought the cheap sausages, if they were cheaper, and they would say like it's a lower cut of meat or whatever, and really it was just there was water in it. I know. Well, I was always taught to like put a slice in bratwurst. I grew up eating a lot of bratwurst, and stuff like that. We would grill them all the time, and my mom always put a slice in them. Always. She was like, and I didn't know this was I didn't know why, but she was like, oh yeah, they'll explode. And I don't know if it's like an old wives' tale from those days, but people still are afraid they're gonna fucking explode. Yeah, it is interesting. I didn't know that at all, and I love bangers and mash. It's one of my favorites. You don't boil bangers, you grill them. Nobody in the UK has ever boiled a sausage. Good. I don't think we boil sausages, to be honest. Some people boil hot dogs, hence hot dog flavored water. I don't know what's up with that. To each their own. It seems like a lot of work to get a pan of water boiling to cook a hot dog. But maybe that's just me. Called The Bangers. Oh, I love that so much. George Foreman grill. Grills, in my opinion, then you get the grill marks. You get those nice, like, little burns on there. That's the best. Sorry, I'm moving screens around so we can be boyfriends and stuff. A tear in the sausage is really grim, especially if you try to boil it or something. Some people I know make bratwurst, like, they'll put them in a pan and put, like, an inch of water in the pan, and they cover it, and they basically let them sit in that pan until that water's gone, and then they cook them in the pan and give them the grill marks. I don't know how is that, like, a thing? Some people I've seen some people cook bratwurst and things like that. We've just always grilled them. I spent money I couldn't afford to yesterday, but I'm taking my brother and going to watch Evil Dead 2. Oh, in a big ass cave with Bruce Campbell hosting the event. Oh my God. You know what? Sometimes once in a lifetime experiences come around and you must take advantage. That is very, very exciting. The Banger Brothers. Oh my God, that would have been amazing though. Oh my God, Lizzie, my best friend in high school, the Vienna sausages, those? Are they Vienna sausages where you are? Is that what they are? Because no shit, my best friend in high school, every day after school, we would walk to her house, and I would make a box of Kraft macaroni and cheese, and she would sit there and eat a can of Vienna sausages cold with a fork. It's just, some things hurt inside when you watch them. Every day. It was the grossest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's like eating cat food. What the fuck? Vienna sausages. I don't know why they're called Vienna sausages. If they're from Vienna, I have no idea. Artisanal hot dog water from Yankee Stadium. Yum. Ugh. Even then I cooked them, I felt like vomiting watching them. Yeah, they smell like cat food. Like cooked, sure. We have these things in the States. I don't know if it's like my Nana just called them little weenies, but they're like those tiny little pork sausages that you put in barbecue sauce, like in a slow cooker, and then you eat them with a toothpick. Anybody know what those are? My Nana quite literally would say, "You girls want some little weenies?" And she'd make them. She had literally a little slow cooker that was like this big. It was precious, and it was just for those little smokies. Little smokies. Those are the shit. I don't know if those are anywhere else in the world. White Monster's my favorite too. It's like the least flavorful, which is weird, but the rest of them I feel like taste like juice. Like so strong. What the okay. We are not talking about the same thing. Hold up. Let me pull up Vienna sausages because what you just gave me, Lizzie, is giving me anxiety. Wrong keyboard. Girl. I mean, still gross, but this is the difference. What is that? What is that? What is that? I have never in my life seen an American hot dog in a jar. Ever. That's a lie. We don't sell hot dogs in jars. Nobody does that. Ever. Angel penises? Stop it. These ones? This is what my friend would eat. And they're really small. They're literally like the size of a baby dick. I don't know how to say it. They're really small. They're like shorter than your pinky, kind of. Has any American seen hot dogs in a fucking jar? Ever? Oh, you know what we call this, Lizzie? No shit. What I grew up learning, what my dad called hot dogs in general, all hot dogs, lips and ass. Dad, what's in a hot dog? Lips and ass. Eat your food. Lips and ass. That's what hot dogs are. They're the leftovers. Honestly, hot dogs are theoretically like the most ethical meat product you can consume because nothing had to die to make a hot dog. Hot dogs are quite literally the leftovers of the leftovers of the leftovers with some pink dye. You know what I'm saying? He's not wrong. No. That's why I'm not afraid of it. Like, we grew up thinking it's lips and ass. So if it's not, I mean, it can only go up from lips and ass, right? But it didn't die. Like no one's going out there like, we're gonna raise cattle and butcher them just for hot dogs. You know what I mean? Like, yes, they died for the hot dog, but they didn't die because of the hot dog. They died for a prime steak. And then they died for, you go down the line, and then at least they're using all the animal. I don't know. It makes me feel better when they use all the animal. At least. If you're gonna kill something, use all the pieces. Have you ever thrown a hot dog down a hallway? No, I wish though. Wait, a PSA? No, hold on. Is it about hot dogs? Did I miss it? Fuck. Fuck, fuck, fuck. The hot and spicy Vienna sausages are delicious. Wait, that's it? I wouldn't. I couldn't. They smell like cat food. They smell like cat food. They smell like cat food. Brr. Do they make A5 Wagyu hot dogs? Probably. I mean, you can get, so like these, you know how the Vienna sausages say like, it's chicken, beef, and pork in chicken broth. You can get, if you go to like a US store and you go to the section of the grocery store where there's hot dogs, there are so many different brands of hot dog. And like, there's Ballpark Frank, Oscar Mayer, so on and so forth. And some of them will say like all beef Frank, meaning they're all beef or all pork or whatever, or they're ass and lips of everything. Like, you can get all sorts of sausages. It's pretty crazy. I've never really been a big hot dog fan, to be honest. I'm way more into bratwurst. Like, I love a bratwurst in a bun with like mustard and shit on it. But if I have the choice, like, who the fuck picks a hot dog over a brat? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Something called hash. It's not what most people call hash. It's basically all the organs chopped up with some offcuts of meat, seasoned and served over rice. That sounds delicious, honestly. Doesn't America have things like canned burgers and canned whole chicken? So they don't. I've never seen those things for sale. However, they did exist at one point. I know people can still get a hold of them because in some places in the US, for some reason, they're still there. But it was like, those are all like, usually if you see someone like getting a chicken in a can or something, it's probably an ancient artifact from wartime. A lot of those foods were like Americans trying to toy with how to preserve food for a longer period of time during, shortages in like the depression and shit like that. But I have never seen a chicken in a can in my life. In the store, I've looked. Like, I've never seen it. I don't know. War times, war crimes. Really, seriously. I mean, I've never seen it, but I've seen people like open them and shit on, on like YouTube videos. They're like, we're gonna try this fucking burger in a can. But they've got to be ancient because the things that we in the US mostly like. We have sauces, veggies, and tuna is the most popular thing I think that's canned here. We don't do a shit ton of canned meat, really. I grew up eating like sardines and shit. My grandpa would feed me sardines and smoked oysters on Ritz crackers, so I'm weird, but most people aren't really into that shit. You can get chunk chicken, yes. So like similar to tuna in a can, it'll be the exact same can, like a little flat tuna can, but it'll be chunk chicken. You can do that, yes. Yep, chunk turkey, chicken, not duck though. Duck's not super popular here, I don't think. Yeah, there's certain places, but I've never seen it. Brown bread's delicious though. There's something about that. Oh, I grew up off Spam. I'm a big Spam fan. I like Scrapple too. I don't have qualms about eating weird meats. Like, if you're eating meat, you're eating meat. I don't give a shit. If it tastes good, I'll eat it. Like, sure. Yeah, like I said, my grandpa was in the war, and he just brought home that mentality. So that's the way my grandparents cooked. That's the way my mom cooked. So we grew up on Spam, shit on a shingle, shit like that. I loved it. I think Spam's delicious. That being said, I don't like Matsubi, and that's really sad to me. I really wanted to like Matsubi. Matsubi is fried Spam on sushi rice wrapped in a little piece of seaweed. I hate it. I think it's disgusting. I don't fucking know. It's gross. It's like they put all the ingredients into a can for cake or for bread, like this like really dense kind of sweet molasses-based brown bread. They seal the can and they boil the can, and that cooks the bread inside. So you just have to open the can. You can boil the can as well and like reheat it if you want to. But if you just open the can, you can literally turn it upside down and like fart out a little bread loaf that you cut into rounds. But it's actually shockingly delicious. I don't know. It's just that it's like a pudding. Isn't that how you guys cook puddings? Except you would like make it fresh and cook it in a cheesecloth kind of thing, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. It's similar to that. Yeah, it's similar. I think honestly, like the concept of it comes from spotted dick because you can buy spotted dick in a can here. Like we have spotted dick in a can that's in most grocery stores. I've had sardines on pizza. Who hasn't had sardines on pizza though? Even if you think you haven't had sardines, I guarantee almost every single one of us has eaten sardines on a pizza, right? Like it's in most sauces. It's in most like Caesar sauces and shit like that. I like salt. Honestly, I'm all about salt. Add a salty thing to anything and I'm into it. Fucking cheers. I have a brand new bowl too. Happy 420. Cheers, Cinemus. It's 420 somewhere. Brock. Oh my God. I saw the scariest video recently. This video's been going around on fitness Instagram a lot, and I follow a lot of like female weightlifters and shit to get good advice on like form and whatnot. This woman was working out at a gym, and thank fuck there was a security camera. I don't know why there was no employee there or anything, but a man comes into the gym and literally like tries to rape her. He starts aggressively following her around the gym. You can see her like pushing him away, saying, "Go away from me." I don't think he noticed how much she was squatting because she straight up squatted his ass and got away from him. It was the funniest shit. Like, he climbed on top of her. She stood up with his entire body on her and fucking threw him on the ground and then runs away. So scary, though. What the fuck? Please be safe. Please do not go to gyms by yourself. Don't go to a gym that doesn't have a fucking employee there. My God. My God, what the fuck? The dogs are under my desk right now sleeping. Chucky, how are you? Scrapple? Is Scrapple a PA thing? I got into it when I lived in Maryland. It's pretty big in Maryland as well, to be honest. I saw it a lot. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on chat. Spam eggs and rice is a breakfast. That's really, really good. I don't know what it is about Matsubi. There's something about it that it just didn't go together in my mouth for me. Don't store your potatoes in a cabinet and forget them because potatoes are a nightshade. When they rot, they give off a powerful neurotoxin called solanine gas that in an unventilated room can cause unconsciousness in 5 minutes and kill you in 30. No shit. Ew. I don't think this ever happened to me, but ew. Silver's on, I'm gonna be honest, tuna should have a pop top because none of that makes sense. That's intense. I had no idea. There's anchovies in Zaxby's Zax sauce. There you go. It's just salt, really. Exactly. Like, sardines are just salt. They're just a salty ingredient, but they're delicious. I'm all about it. I understand the concept. It looks inherently cursed, but one of those, no, yeah, that makes sense. I was imagining like a squirty can. Oh, yeah. I mean, we have some gross shit here. There's gross shit everywhere, but yeah, no, not that bad. It's like pre-cooked. I'll go for fresh bread with a crusty, top, like over canned bread any day, but it's food, I guess. I've never had a century egg. And I've never had a balut. I've never had balut, but I've never been anywhere where they have balut. Like, I went to Thailand and Singapore, and balut is not big there, so I would try it if I was exposed to it, as long as I wasn't gonna die. Sounds like a perfect serial killer method. Death by potato gas. Oh my God, that'd be such a long-term death, though. I had plenty of potatoes rot in my kitchen, haven't died yet. I mean, I haven't, but I eat a lot of potatoes. The potato gas murders. My mom gave me the best trick to use if you're in a situation where there's real danger, you're about to get raped. Shit yourself. No man is going to be able to compete with that. My plan has always been to just go, like, get really into it. Just be like, oh, yes, I love this. I love this so much. I love you. Are we going to get married? Oh my God. Are we going to have babies? Are we going to get a house on the hill with a white picket fence? I love you so much. Oh my God, daddy. Like, that's my plan. I don't know if it'll work, but it's my plan. There's a Vietnamese snack that's just a dried salty fish. Oh, in a bag? Is it like literally, they're like little fishes? I think I've had them. Had a production company put our diamonds into some cartridges, and now I'm dabbing diamonds on the con floor? Fuck yes. Some technological advances make me have hope for humanity. That is the most beautiful thing I've ever heard in my life. Fuck yes. I haven't had fugu either. Nope. That's pufferfish, right? I've never been to Japan. I've never been to, like, the sushi place to, like, where you should go if you're gonna have that, you know? Personally, I hate mustard as a condiment, but as an ingredient, it can be perfect. I imagine lots of people have hangups like that. Meat, grape jelly. I hate false grape flavor, but I know grape jelly is like we were talking about it earlier, it's in barbecue sauce. It's in a lot of different sauces for meats, where if I don't know it's going in, I actually won't taste it, but if I know it's going in, I can't get over it. It's very weird. No, I get that. I love mustard, though. I'm a fiend. Call me granddad because I fucked your nan. Unless he's old, or at least play along until you have his cock near your mouth and then chomp. Exactly. Exactly. That would scare everyone, right? If I just start calling you daddy and, like, start proposing marriage, like, you know, no one's into that. Mustard in stews, mhm, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mustard on meats. I feel like mustard in meat is really good. I think it's in a lot of dry barbecues. Dry rubs has mustard, powder at least in it, right? I got some puffer and MD, gotta know the right peeps, fuck yes. I never had a problem getting weed in Maryland, to be honest. Recite a whole musical maybe off key. I don't wanna do that. Pete and Baz make me have hope for tomorrow. I love them so much. They are just the funniest thing. I just can't. They're so fucking funny. It is. It's like a background flavor that's something to it. I don't know. Mustard is great. If the room is well ventilated, you're probably fine, but we were smelling something in our house for a few weeks. I was following my nose, trying to find it, opened my cabinet, got a lungful. We've all done it. I mean, definitely had like, I think I had an onion go bad. And if you've ever had an onion in a cupboard go bad, they liquefy. That was gross. 2 days in the hospital. Oh my God. 2 days in the hospital. No shit. Oh, oh, that's so scary though. I mean, honestly, that's fucking scary, but it's probably because it was like encased in the cupboard and it was like opening the oven, you know, when you're like checking on something and you don't think about it and that oven air just like singes your eyebrows off. We've all done it. We've all fucking been there. I can't handle the boring hot dog mustard, but Dijon and such, me too. I love a stone ground. That's what I found. If the mustard says it's stone ground, it tends to be like more gritty and just have more flavor. Dude, Kendall, isn't that sick? I got this in Disney World years ago. It's Coco themed. Where's the Coco thing? If you've never seen Coco, it's one of the Disney movies that came out in the past 10 years, but it's actually fucking great. It's really, really good. I think it says Recuérdame on the back. Yep. Recuérdame. Really beautiful song. Yeah, it's like a hoodie and that's just the inside. I had to buy it. I was in Florida at Disney World and didn't bring a jacket and it started pouring rain, so that's why I got this. But I literally I don't know if it was the last time I went to Disney World, it's been a while, but when I went, this movie had like recently come out. And so if you were in Epcot near like Mexico land, I guess you would, in Mexico, they have like the really cool temple and shit. They literally had a mariachi band that would be outside every hour on the hour playing those songs. And I just stood there and cried. Those songs melt my heart. Horrible inventory control. I mean, yeah. TMI, also, puking could work as an anti-rape method. Just remember, give it to the perp's mouth. Just feed him like a baby bird. If you can puke on command. I don't know if I could do that. But I can definitely act like a creepo and call someone daddy on command. There's a historical case where a solanine gas killed a whole family because one woman went to the cellar. Someone later came down to check. Oh my God, that's fucking terrifying and terrible. Oh my God, that's so sad. I believe it though. I mean, I listen to a lot of historical podcasts just for funsies, and I've listened to a lot recently talking about the Victorian era and the fascination with this certain color green. I can't remember what it was called. It was like not Kelly green, like Kerry green, something like that. And so everybody was obsessed with this color green. That was this new color that they came out with for like wallpaper and clothes and everything. So it was really common for someone's entire interior decor to be green, like a different shade of green wallpaper, green carpet, green everything. And it was all dyed with the same dye, but was it arsenic? What made that green dye? Man, I want to say it was arsenic. Hold on. Deadly. It ain't easy being green. Let me see. Blah, 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 blah. So this is the history of it. In 1814, a company in Schweinfurt, Germany, I am so sorry if I butchered that, called the Wilhelm Dye and White Lead Company, developed a new green dye. It was brighter than most traditional green dyes. It was bolder. The shade was so jewel-like that it quickly became called emerald green, and women loved it. largely because it was during this time that gas lighting rather than candlelight was being introduced. When women went out to parties at night, the rooms were considerably brighter, blah, 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 blah. Unfortunately, the reason the dye was so striking is that it was made with arsenic, as it is a topic with Allison Matthews, David Covers, blah, 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 blah. The effects of arsenic exposure are horrific. In addition to being deadly, it produces ulcers all over the skin. Those who came in close contact with it might develop scabs and sores wherever it touched. It can also make your hair fall out and can cause some people to vomit blood before shutting down their livers and kidneys. So, people were filling their house with this green-colored wallpaper and then heating it up with a wood fire stove, and literally they would come home and their entire family would be dead because the heat would, like, make the arsenic gas emit from everything in their house that was that color green, and everyone would die. It was horrible. So fucking horrible. Oh, I love Radium Girls was a really good series and book. Yeah, big into it. Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh my god, Chucky, I hope it wasn't the poisonous shit, though. Arsenic makeup? Exactly. I mean, wasn't that why Queen Elizabeth? Was it Queen Elizabeth? Or was it Queen Victoria? Queen Victoria, right? No, Elizabeth. It was her mom. It was her mom, right, that had the super pasty white complexion. But because it was lead and arsenic based, she kept having to apply more and more and more because it was causing these ulcers in her face. And then, you know, it just kept getting worse and worse. There's a 30 to 40 foot tall Stay Puft Marshmallow inflatable. Oh my god. That's amazing. And another booth has some pretty intense techno going on one row over. Dude, can you imagine if you're on shrooms right now? You'd have a fucking trip. Fun fact, mummy brown paint was made using a pigment made from ground up Egyptian mummies. Didn't they used to like snort mummy dust and shit too? The Victorians could just buy a mummy and like have it on display in their house and take pieces off of it to snort and put on their face because they thought it was like the key to vitality or some shit like that. Yeah, they ate pieces of them. Yeah, they did all like we don't have a lot of the mummies that were discovered when we originally discovered them because people ate them. No, they totally did. You're right. I listened to a few podcasts about it way back, like a year ago, and they did everything. And it was honestly, it was because, you know, people would bring the sarcophagus over from Egypt or wherever they found it, and they wanted to make money. So they'd be like, oh yeah, the powdered skin of the mummy gives you youthful skin or heals crow's feet or whatever. Like, it was all lies, but that's how they sold this shit. And it was wild. Like, it's wild how many people consumed mummy shit. Dude, Victorians were like the Victorian era is honestly, it comes up a lot if you listen to podcasts about today's political era because the Victorian era in how it was very, very just prolific to just make up stories and history and write whatever the fuck you wanted down about anybody. And everybody was like, guess that's fact. It's super similar to today. Like just the attitudes of knowing your own science and not believing, you know, actual science of anything. It's kind of scary. I wonder what in 40 to 50 years they'll look back on now and be like, damn, I can't believe they just did that and thought it was safe. I think about that a lot. Like, what's going to be our cigarettes? Is it going to be, I always thought it might be cell phones. I don't know. I thought I'd have some like tumor growing out of my face by now. Mummy jerky, comes prepared. I'm watching a YouTube video that seriously proves there are some people that should have been swallowed. I mean, you just came to that now? Because, like, no shit. Speaking of eating things, here's another fun fact. A 50,000-year-old well-preserved bison was discovered, and they legit made a stew from its meat and ate it. Okay, so of all the things to do with the 50,000-year-old bison you find. Okay. I mean, sure. I don't know what I'd do with it. Sure. All right. I heard that someone's trying to bring back dodo birds. Why would you do that? Didn't they go extinct similar to pandas because they're just too stupid? Like, we hunted them to death, but they're just dumb, right? Like, we love our pandas, but we were just talking about this the other day. Like, we have to help them fuck. What up, Zintek? How are you? I know. I wonder if it was good. I don't know. Preservatives in food. Can't wait to see what the long preservatives. Yeah. Well, I mean, not even just food, Chucky. Like, I was listening to a chemistry podcast this morning, and I listen to a lot of podcasts, and they were talking about what formaldehyde used to be in, and the topic was like fast fashion, you know, like cheap clothing, $5 shirts and shit like that fall apart after you wash them. And formaldehyde, which is literally what we use to embalm bodies and preserve dead body parts, up until I think like 2000 was in nail polish and makeup and face creams and mascara and some toothpaste. Like, fuck. We were, like, actively embalming ourselves a little bit. I don't know, and it's still in some shit today in really, really small amounts that they claim are, not, harmful or whatever. Oh my god, a dog got stuck in a tree and was wait. A dog got stuck inside of a tree and was discovered mummified? Oh, did the tree grow around it? Ew. Now people unwrap mummies, often wrapped in scrap paper. Scrap paper in ancient times is very, very valuable text. Like super original biblical text. Oh my god. Or Sappho, both actual cases. Thank you, Dirk Obink. Oh my god. Can you imagine? Oh my god, I'd piss my pants. I wouldn't even know what it said and I'd piss my pants. That is just sold to the highest bidder, and that's horrible. And then dissolved improperly by untrained people because they don't know what they're looking for. Dissolved? I'm sorry I yelled. What? Oh my fuck off. No. Nope. Nope. When pandas got twins, one of them died. Oh, that's so sad. I mean, they can barely fuck. I love pandas, but the fact that we have to help them insert each other is just crazy. People freezer burn to the max. That's what I'm saying. Like, you'd have to hydrate the shit out of it. God, Lizzie, that's so depressing. They got eaten to death, but I mean, there's a reason we ate those to death and not other things. Like, I think they were actually kind of dumb. I think. I don't know. Of all the things to bring back, and why, I mean, I don't know. It just seems weird to fuck with genetics like that. They also run free to people, so easy prey, which seems like dumb. To me. A chicken and a turkey with a huge head, though. Their head is huge. If we could farm them, it'd be a great new protein source, but who knows? And see, like, I agree with the concept of, like, yes, we need more sustainable protein sources because right now we create enough food to feed the whole world, but we throw away, like, 2/3 of it. It's just insane. But like a dodo bird, like, have you heard about these Canadian super pigs that got loose and are coming, like, Canada put a program together to create a super pig, some sort of enormous pig that can live in any climate and grows enormous and to feed people. They were like, it's easier to take care of because you can have it anywhere. It got loose. And now, like, all these northern states of the US are getting big warnings because apparently javelinas the size of a small vehicle will be coming at you in your house. And they can literally build igloos and live under mounds of snow for months. I mean, it's pretty wild what happens when humans are stupid and fuck with genetics. I don't know. I've never seen a case where, like, we played God and that was a good plan. But I don't know, maybe. Like, I'm all about stem cell research and shit like that. But giant super pigs, I want nothing to do with. It's a pig kaiju, I'm saying. But, like, edible. Right? It's kind of scary. The Canadians made a super hog. It was a valiant effort to feed people. But now it's loose, and it's coming to the US, and it's going to fuck our pigs, and we're going to make javelinas the size of small cars. Which we already have an invasive species of pig here in the US, if you didn't know, called javelinas. Like, you can literally turn them in for fucking money some places because they just are wild and they will kill you. They're not very big. They're smaller than my poodles and they will gut you to death. They will gore you to death. Pigs are not nice. Pigs are mean. Mean. They eat anything. Like your legs. Pigs with Superman capes. Oh my god, it'd be like Spider Pig. What is ChatGPT? I don't know what that was. GPT. Is that thing where it's like deep faking people's voices? I don't like it. Have you gotten those warnings too? I don't know how serious it is, but like it sounds not good. It's Hogzilla. I'm saying it's kaiju. Hog kaiju. Canada created Power Ranger Pudgy Pig, kind of. Yeah. Pigs are mean because humans are mean. True. We had pigs as kids and they were just mean. They would bite your ankles. Like they'll slit your fucking Achilles tendon and take you down if they want to. I wasn't doing anything. Fuck. Dude, wild boar. Apparently it tastes pretty good, but it's wild how many there are. I don't know. I know Texas has a huge problem with javelinas. I vote we put our best minds towards making a Katie kaiju. I mean, I'm kind of close, though. I'm pretty close. Wait. But would I be the kaiju, or would it just be, like, a twin? Because I'm into that. Have y'all seen Old Yeller? That's a javelina. Yes. I've been chased by one, but luckily oh my god, you were chased? How did you get away? You ran 50 feet? I'm fucking shocked it didn't get you. I'm gonna be honest, it would have gotten me. Javelinas are terrifying. If you see a wild pig in the US, go away from it. Do not go near it. If it has babies, you are done for. I'm not kidding. They're fucking intense. There's a reason you can just kill them. They're mean as fuck. What if the DNA remembers the transgression of humans' depravity? You know, crows do that, Murgle. I've read stuff about crows, and I think it's crows and ravens. It's corvids in general, but there's something called genetic memory where, like, if you piss off a mama crow and she has babies, she somehow passes down an inherent disposition towards you, and her babies will hate you. They'll know who you are and they'll hate you. I don't understand it completely, but it's kind of fascinating. I had goats, chickens, rabbits. Goats were fun. As kids, we'd tackle them. Oh man, I wish we would have had goats. We had rabbits, we had chickens, we had pigs. And pigs are fucking mean. They're really smart, but they're mean as shit. People died hunting boars all the time back in the day. They're mean as fuck, right? It's such a good AI. It wrote my resignation letter, my opening letter for my resume, and fixed the code I was working on. Okay, so this is just a writing one. This isn't one that's like deep faking voices, because those are creepy. I don't like anything that has to do with deep fake shit. That fucking scares the shit out of me. Oh my god, Jesse, I would have pissed my pants. Oh my god, Kendo. I love animators. They're my favorites. Crows definitely good people, and we don't deserve sharing this planet with them 100%. Have you seen those, like, there are some cities, I can't remember where it was in the world, but they designed a trash can that would release a little pellet of food when trash was thrown into the trash can, and crows taught themselves to clean up the park. Like, crows taught themselves to clean up trash to get a little pellet out of the trash can. No one taught the crows. Like, they just did it. They watched a person do it and did it. And now they do it, like, in more parks that it doesn't give out a pellet, but they're still cleaning up the parks. It's crazy. Wild turkeys are pricks. We had a lot of wild turkeys as a kid. Lots of them. They drop out of trees like nobody's business. Murder of ravens will do the same thing. You're nice, they recognize that. If you're a dick, they remember you. I believe that. I'd remember you too. I fear farted. Oh shit. Is that a fucking... That's all I meant. It probably only turned around because it smelled something. That's amazing. I didn't hear about the letter, no, that they used ChatGPT to write to the students at the school where 2 to 3 students were killed recently. Oh my fucking god, what? What? They even forgot to remove written by ChatGPT at the bottom. That's... Why? It's not bark o'clock yet. Hush your dumb face. That is fucking depressingly sad. That is horrible. Wow. Are you friends with a crow? We rescued a baby crow in our back garden, and he lived in our bathroom for a day. Oh, and then in the garden in his box so his parents could visit him. That you've made crow friends for life, according to what I've read. Seriously, I get what you mean. People will abuse that AO. Dude, I've seen people deep faking other streamers. There's porn deep fakes and weird, creepy voice deep fakes and shit like that. It's beyond strange what people decide to do with their spare time. Bonnie's a dick to him, though. I mean, most dogs are dick to birds, though, right? It feels like the last 3 years, the future happened really fast. Yes. I feel like it's been, yeah. No, especially all this AI stuff, for sure. Crows are good people, unlike these smart, hairless monkeys who litter because they didn't want to go 20 meters to a trash can. Dude, Mergs, I think it was Vile was telling me this yesterday. He said that this happens often. This wasn't like a one-off story, but he does inventory for stores. He works for a company where the company comes in and does inventory for a store. So he goes to all different kinds of stores. So I have no idea which store he was at this time, but a customer was there, and a customer like ate something or had some sort of wrapper for some reason, and literally 2 feet from him just goes and just drops it on the floor. And he said this happens all the time, and what he does, his response, is to walk over gently, pick it up, and be like, "I'm sorry, ma'am, you dropped this." And I shit you not, half the time they will take it from him and drop it back on the ground and say, "No, I didn't." What the fuck happened to people? What happened? That's insane to me. Yes, Workster, I saw that shit. It's disgusting. It's so gross. I hate it. the porn deepfake stuff is something my wife and her friends discuss often. Some of them are in the business selling that type of content, and it hurts their bottom lines. For my wife, it'd probably end her chances of teaching ever again. Yeah, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. And there's no repercussions for people to make this shit in any way, shape, or form. And I don't think employers would give a shit whether or not it was a deep fake. And that's sad. That's sad. Tech improves exponentially. Wait for the next 3 years. It's kind of crazy how it happens like that, right? And it's like, you always got to wonder, is it for the good? I hope it's for good. I hope it's for fun stuff. I'd like some more fun tech. That'd be nice. Not just pointless, like, more Roombas. I don't need another fucking Roomba commercial in my life. I know, we need to take a break, actually. I need to go get water. I did not bring my water out like an idiot. And I need to pee! So quick break while we water ourselves and pee ourselves and get some coffee and shit. And then we make boyfriends. I apologize. Fun in this economy? I know, right? I mean, I'm really good at self-entertaining. Like, I'm really good at keeping myself busy most of the time. But I do like, you know, consoles and stuff. They don't come out with any new nothing going on. Like, I don't remember the last time I was excited about a new console, handheld or otherwise, coming out. When, you know, they used to be like leaps and bounds between each other, and there would be just this huge feature that we were all like, oh yeah. And now I'm just like, oh, you made it look weird. Like, the new PlayStation is so fuck ugly. Are you kidding me? Stop. I hate it. Every day I look at it and I'm like, why do you look that way? You fuck ugly creature. I hate it. They made it ugly. They made it not make sense. It's like this shape. I don't know. It's fucking stupid. But it doesn't do, like, it's still the exact same thing it's always been. And I think a lot of that has to do with, you know, the software is all online updates these days. So when you buy a new console, you're not getting a new look when it comes to what you actually see on your screen and shit. It's going to be exactly what you saw before. I think that takes away from a lot of it, you know? I think it should be regulated too. Absolutely. Oh my god, it does. This is what Hikaru said. The PS5 looks like Seto Kaiba's white trench coat. You're so fucking right. I hate it so much. Stop making shit weird. Stop. I just want it to be a little black box that fits with all the other little black boxes by my TV, please and thank you. Break time. I love you. Enjoy some music. I'll be right back. Preach it soon. This is a good song. Cheers, y'all. Then we shall boyfriend. Mona Lisa, 'cause she's just been out the frame. Jumping out the frame. I took drugs, Hex. I have like a huge bottle of Aleve. Like the dark bird. Thank fuck. At least they didn't hit in the middle of the night. Usually, honestly, like the first sign of the oncoming onslaught of the uterus is 4 a.m. Because my body's an asshole. So I'm grateful it wasn't until then. But I was literally like had curlers in my eyelashes and was just like, no. Oh no. I had to release slowly. It was bad. That would have been one of those moments where like people sneeze and pull all their eyelashes out, you know? Scary. Anyways. Yeah. Aleve is great. I try not to take too much though, obviously. I also have that like I have this great, it's like a CBD balm, like CBD lotion I wipe on the womb area. It's great. Helps a lot for some fucking reason. How are you doing, love? Killing us today, like the dark bird. I really like this game. And I think we cleared up all the dating so we could literally just go straight into battle today. I think. I hope. Oh my god, Hex. I've always wanted to ask my dad that. I don't know how I forget whenever I see him. But I just want to, like, now that we're all older and out of the house, I'm going to be like, what was it like? Just, like, 4 teenage girls just bleeding everywhere. I know what he'd say. Don't ever trust nothing that can bleed for 5 days and live. That's exactly what he'd say, because he's a redneck dad, and that's what dads say. Lore-wise is that my name is a parody of Nurgle from my Battle Axe 50k universe. He's the chaos god of life, energy, and abundancy. Oh, I love that, though. Cheers. Wait, What's Dr. Rasta? Is that another lotion? This is the one I get, Vissy. I actually just got a new one. Let me show it to you. I just upped on it, so I have the actual bottle. What the fuck? It's a topical too. This is the shit. Because I think most brands are like state specific, you know, because weed products. It's just like a scentless lotion. But my brand is called Escape Artist. Escape Artist Relief Cream is the one that I usually see. Oh, it's from CO? I've never seen it at my dispensary. Is it only CBD or is it THC too? I'll have to ask him about it. I've never seen it. This is the only one I've ever seen them. This one has THC as well. Maybe that's why. Maybe because I get it at the dispensary, they only sell ones with THC in them. This one has... I threw the box away. Fuck. Where are the milligrams on it? Shit. Oh my god, it's right there. I forgot. It's that red writing right there on... It's just the worst to read. This is 800 milligrams of CBD and 40 milligrams of THC per jar. Massage this 20-to-1 CBD-rich blend slowly into your skin for quick releasing relief right where you need it. But that's stuff I get. It's expensive, but you don't have to use very much. Yours is 1,000. I think they go, like the CBD goes up because you can get one that's 500 CBD, 500 THC. So like as there's more THC, they down the CBD, I guess. So it's like, I don't know. I'm assuming that's what they do, but this shit works really, really well. I've gotten it multiple times, and Vissy saying hers works well. That's like 2 people saying topicals are at least worth something. I use it on my sore shoulder sometimes too. If I like wake up with that weird sore neck, and it's literally like your finger. That's all I use. I don't use that much of it, and it helps a lot. Because I think what CBD does is CBD really helps take down the inflammation. And I think the inflammation is where a lot of the pain comes from. Whereas like painkillers, like drugs and stuff like that we take over the counter, those are just blood thinners. They're not they're not, you know, designed to target a specific area or something like that. Blood thinners and or muscle relaxers. I'm a week and a half late by now, and apparently that's common with the super new moon. The moon is gonna fuck with everybody. I got my period a week early. That's what it did to me. But honestly, I'm kind of happy because I didn't want to get my period on my birthday. That would have been shitty. We're in the same space. I just every time I feed them or take them out to water them, I literally take all of them off of these shelves and put them on this table. And I go through and feed them and I write down who I've fed and who's molting and whatever. And then I put them back. So every time I put them back, it looks a little bit different. It's just a constant Jenga of spider towers. I rehoused a couple last night, so that's why it looks a little bit different. Not yet, David. I get to claim 34 for a little bit. Just a little bit more. But thank you. Yeah, Vissy, for real. The moon, this supermoon's gravity is so fucking strong. It's pretty wild. It's not mythical. We're not talking like woo-woo moon stuff. We're talking actually like, you know that the moon controls the tides. The reason the ocean tides move in and out is the moon's gravity is pulling the water back and forth on the earth. Yeah, not the wooey shit. Just so everyone knows. Although wooey shit is fun, but like we're talking like real shit. Yeah. It's okay, David. You know what's funny, David? Yesterday in the game, in Boyfriend Dungeon, no shit, it was my character's birthday. That was funny. It's the wooey shit. You know, Kendo, what I would suggest if anybody wants to try CBD is try, if you can, to buy it from a legal dispensary, any kind of legal dispensary, because if you get it anywhere else, like literally anywhere else, they're not being checked by the systems in charge of weed regulation. So they can put whatever they want on the jar or the bottle or the whatever. Like they can say it's 800 milligrams CBD and no one's checking it because they don't have to have a license to sell CBD. CBD is nationally legal, except in some places like Texas and shit. But if you go to a dispensary that is, you know, legal dispensaries are fucking so closely watched by the government and the local bodies that are in charge of them and all that shit. If they sell me a jar of lotion that says 800 milligrams CBD and I go home and test it and it's not 800 milligrams CBD, they can get their shop shut down permanently and have their license pulled for the rest of their life. Off that one instance. So dispensaries, you're way more likely to get exactly what they're selling, exactly what it says on the jar. CBD is just so underregulated these days. You just don't know what you're getting, you know? You know, in redneck speak, woo-woo shit is anything you do that results in ambulance ride. You know what my dad would say is bad juju. That's what we called it. The bad juju. Bad juju usually ended up in the cops or an ambulance ride. Absolutely, Kendo. That's just, I think you're gonna get the best, like, it's still, I mean, it's a toss-up. What I hope it works for you. Like, I'm not saying it's a guaranteed, but I will say that if you get it from a dispensary, you're guaranteed to get what that actual jar says. Because they're at risk of being really shut down, you know? Cries and stupid UK laws, I know. Oh my god. Did y'all see the Saturday Night Live recently? It was like 2 weeks ago where two guys came on pretending to be UK rappers. And you know in rap, when they'd be like, rap, 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 bang, 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 like make gun sounds, they make knife sounds instead. That's the joke. Because you guys, guns are illegal and you just stab each other. It was the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. Like, I can't remember what the sound is. What is the sound they do? It's like, that's what they do in the middle of the rap. Oh my, hold on. I'm going to pull it up. Before we jump in the game, I have to show you this. It's one of the funniest things. All my English friends will think this is hilarious. It was pretty funny. It's real good. This is it. It's so good. SNL's very hit or miss these days, but this one's pretty good. Oh, CBD is legal in Texas. In Texas? God damn, I hate my mouth sometimes. In Texas, as long as it contains no more than 0.3% THC. Good, I'm glad. Also, I saw some people on Twitter saying that changing your tampon any less frequency than once every 2 hours was bad hygiene. But, like, am I insane? I'm gonna be honest. If I changed my tampon every 2 hours on the dot, I would literally rip the inside lining of my pussy out on said tampon. Some of us don't bleed that much. What the fuck? As far as I remember from my studies, 6 to 8 hours is the risk area for septic shock, not 2. I'm not kidding. Like, the cotton tampon would not be soaked, and it would be like pulling a dry cotton bud out of your asshole. Ow. What the fuck? My vagina is protesting right now. Thank you, Mish. Yeah, 6 to 8 hours is the septic shock area, not 2. Ow. Oh. I always thought, I tried pads when I first got my period, and I just thought it was the most disgusting thing, because it's literally like you're sitting in a diaper of blood and flesh all day. It's pretty gross. Because periods, they're not just liquid. Like, it's a lot of chunky shit that doesn't just soak up into a nice little pad. So, like, if you're walking around perioding in that, and then you go to sit down, just imagine, like, sitting down in a nice little pool of guts and blood. But it's your pussy, your fun zone, your play area. Just feels gross to me. I don't know. I did it for like a month, and I was like, nah, I'm good. That shit's gnarly. Yeah, it's like the lining and shit. Shut up, Hex. You have daughters. How have you not been bathed in this already? It's crazy you guys don't know this, for real. So when you get a period, like you're not actually it's actually not blood. It's the lining of our uterus sloughs off. Have you ever had a sunburn? It's like that on the inside. That's what's happening. It's when I was in college, I dated an engineer, and he had to do a project with some little thing called a Raspberry Pi. And I was like, you mean my panties on day one? If I have to live it, you have to fucking hear it. Suck my tampon! Cheers. Slough is a bad word. Yep. Slough is a bad one. No one wants to hear sloughing. Periods shouldn't make anyone squeamish. If a 12-year-old can deal with it, you can deal with it. I.e., I got my period when I was 12 Christmas Day. If a 12-year-old can maturely deal with it, you can. I've heard period panties are amazing. And those cups, Diva cups, I've heard those are crazy good too. Some women sleep with a tampon in. I honestly, like, I don't theoretically, technically, it's unsafe if you're sleeping over 8 hours. However, I have a sister and I've known many women who their period is so heavy that they would literally wake up in just a pool of their own blood every morning if they didn't sleep with a tampon. Like, there is no pad, there is nothing that was gonna stop it. I've never been that person. I don't bleed a lot. I just get really bad cramps and wanna die. But there are some people like that where, like, would you ever tell that person to, like, just let it out, like, live in it? I mean, fucking A, dude. I'd plug it up too. I'd plug that shit. Mm-mm. I don't know if Diva Cups work for those people or not, to be honest. Mergs, I get it, dude. That's me in the deep ocean, man. I'm a big old pussy when it comes to deep ocean shit. Another horrific joke. Fuck yes. Where do you find tampons in Transylvania? Next to the tea bags. That made me shake. On your 13th birthday? That is so fucked up. What's with these holiday periods? That is fucked. Mishy, same. I thankfully don't really need to because I don't live, like, I'm not in a, I can go fucking change my shit whenever I want to. But the idea of, like, yanking out that tiny little latex thing and just, like, I don't know what happens. It's a murder bath. I don't know. Freaks me out, man. But all the respect. Couple weeks shy of 11, you were 10. Okay. If a 10-year-old child can deal with the blood, everybody can deal with the blood. We're changing it now. Think you might. Exactly, Lena. Like, if your flow's that heavy, exactly. That's probably a really good point. Nope, you're absolutely right. We provided air mattresses for state 3 plus pressure ulcers, and I have to check the wound care notes to verify eligibility. So I see slough and granulated. So sorry. I lived around it. Like, working, I worked in the fucking surgical center, so there was a lot of wound care. A lot of wound care. And, I've told you guys this before, but there would be times when I'm just in there with my patient, and, like, it's kind of a joke, but kinda not when I say I'm belly button up. Really, I don't need to know anything that's going on with my patient belly button down because it has nothing to do with me unless it's a circulatory issue. So, my notes, my charts, nothing has anything to do with anything that has anything to do with, unless it has to do with your respiratory system or your breathing or your heart. So, I'll go in there with a patient that's on a ventilator and, not quite know why they're in there. I know they came out of surgery recently and that's it. And they're on a ventilator because they're fucking like narked out. I don't know. And then all of a sudden, a team of docs comes in with their nurse and flips the sheet off the bed. And they start talking about sloughing and granulation and pus. And I look down and the patient's testicles are sewed into their thigh skin. And I'm just standing there like, you know what I'm saying? Poker face, not my gift. Thank fuck for masks. 8 hours maximum, but TSS is extremely rare and only happens in extreme cases. It is. It's insanely rare. Honestly, I worked in an ER for 13 years, and I heard one story about a toxic shock syndrome, i.e., leaving a tampon for too long, and it was not my patient. I never saw anyone like that, and this person left it in for 3 months. One tampon, 3 months. Actually, multiples because they didn't take it out because no one taught them because their parents decided that abstinence was the best. I don't know what the fuck. No one taught them what the fuck to do. That's it. You know? Oh my god, Mishy, same. I actually got to teach Zach all about it. Zach had no idea what it was. He's like, "What is that thing?" I'm like, "Oh my god, let me tell you." It was fun. It was a good teaching moment. Hello, boy Will, how are you? You were 10 too? Fuck, dude, that's crazy. I thought I was young, my god. I tried a Diva Cup before my IED. It worked fine, but it was annoying to deal with while at work. Yeah, like, how do you walk to the sink with your hands covered in blood? Or do you just, like, dip them in toilet water? Like, I don't know what the fuck to do there. The whole thing seems messy. It is messy, let's be real. Being a girl is foul. We look good naked, and that's end of list. Speaking of testicles and surgery, I'm going to be starting a GoFundMe to pay for my orchiectomy. Wait. Fuck yes. I'm gonna be honest, I've literally got to be a part of some of the very first male to female and female to female to male transitions when I worked at Hopkins. I've never seen that word in my life. I was like, is that what I think it? Because I've never ever seen that in my life. In any of my charting, in any of the procedures I've been in. I'm so fucking excited for you though, and we've all learned something new. Am I saying it right? Orchiectomy? Orchiectomy? I want to make sure I'm saying it right. Fuck yes. Snip that fucking shit off. Hell yeah. I'm very, very excited for you. And I learned. That's crazy that I've never. I'm just like appalled. I've literally got to be a part of some amazing procedures, and I've never seen that word before. That's wild. We learned today. Wouldn't it mold after 3 months? Do you want me to tell you what it did? It's gnarly. It's a gross. Like, it's one of those, like, don't be eating. It's a gross. I can tell you what happened to that poor girl, but it is fucking gnarly. This is your warning to stop chewing. I'll just give you a few seconds if you remain staying around for this one. It's not a long story, but it's gnarly. The poor person. Poor fucking person. Yes, and absolutely link us to the GoFundMe. I thought I said that. If I didn't say that, or even if I did, please link us to your GoFundMe. We'll put it in the Discord. Abso-fucking-lutely. I'm very, very excited for you. And thank you for teaching me a cool new word that I probably should have known. Me too. Lena, me too. I've been, I mean, it's crazy. I've literally been in those surgeries. It's crazy that I've never seen that word before. I feel a little stupid. I'm excited for you though. So I hope you're not chewing anymore. So basically what happened was this young girl had exceedingly Christian parents who taught her nothing about menstruation. Her mom was very uncomfortable with it. So she got her period and went to her cheerleading friends and were like, I don't know what to do. And they were like, oh, here's a tampon. And they gave her a couple tampons, taught her how to put a tampon in, end of lesson, I guess. And so she ended up putting in a couple over the next couple days until there was no more blood flow, and then just went about her business for 3 months. Comes into the ER with a bloated stomach and horrific abdominal pain. And I guess the NP put her feet in the stirrups, saw a string, asked if she felt pain when she pulled on it. The patient said, I feel nothing down there right now. Pulled the string. Remember when we were talking about the origin of bangers earlier? And like that sudden squirt/explosion of just like hot fluid? Like that. It was buckets of pus just fell out of her. And that woman is now sterile. Her entire reproductive system necrotized inside of her. And she was 15. Allegedly, some of what came out of her was her reproductive system. I don't know. I know that's possible. Y'all know I've told you the story about the pelvic ectomy I had, which to this day boggles my fucking mind. But like, the horrors. That poor fucking girl. That's all I can think. And all because her mom was not comfortable talking about periods. Told her to ask her friends. Are you fucking... Don't have children if you're not comfortable talking about your fucking bodily functions. My God. Mishy, right? Her mother. Honestly, Workster, if she hadn't been so young and healthy, she would be. Like, she was really, young, healthy, active person, so her cells were turning over often enough to keep that infection isolated to at least just her reproductive organs, as fucking horrible as that is. I think she actually did have to get a, urethra surgery of some kind. But it was just like... Oh, Aim, apparently the smell was something else. Yep. Apparently. Yep. This is from a nurse that I know. This is not an unreal story. This is real. Horrific. So sad. Big oof sounds, yeah. Ugh. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure the parents said she was sinful for using a tampon. Actually, I do think there was something about we weren't supposed to, because so in the hospital, at least in the US, at least in the states I've worked in, I think this is across the US, but now that I know about like Ohio, Texas, and Florida trying to make trans people illegal and such and so forth, I don't know. But in all the hospitals I've ever worked in, the moment you are either 13 years old or you have your period, you are now medically considered an adult, and everything that happens to you in that room is private. You can ask us to ask your parents to leave, and they have to legally leave if you have your period or if you're 13. Either way, you're now an adult. So everything medically is private. So I think there was a note in there like we couldn't mention the tampon involved because her parents would literally disown her and say she wasn't a virgin anymore or something fucking psychotic like that. For some women, the womb lining comes out in a pretty meaty clump too, like a full-on meat clump. We aren't taught about this. Yeah, so these women think they're dying. It's insane how very little. I mean, we're not taught anything. I've told you about my fucking sex ed class. Don't pierce yourself and don't have anal. You'll get AIDS. Monad Art, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. What up, Honey Bean? How are you? Welcome, Raiders. We're about to get some boyfriends. I was just packing a bowl. I honestly, Koto, what's sad is because I'm always like, I worked, ICU and emergency areas, and that's where I get my stories is those people. We tend never get to see people, like, the end story. Like, what happens? Are they taken care of? Does someone talk to the parents? You know what I mean? It kind of sucks. Welcome, Raiders. How are you? When I was 9 to 10. That is crazy. A lot of you got it around that age. And run to my grandma and ask her, what the fuck is this? I was so scared. Eat a pill to prevent it for a few years. Oh, I was scared too. I got it when I was 12, Christmas Day. And my mom's reaction was, ugh, ew, that sucks. That's all I got. And a box of pads. Welcome, little ones. How are you? The doctors don't listen to period havers, TMI, but education awareness. I did a septate hymen. That's a hymen that's still attached across the vaginal opening. Sex was very painful and tampons always got stuck. I believe that. Hymens are painful. If unwilling to break, by the way, Raiders, we're having a medical talk real quick before we jump into the game. Welcome to it. Made you pass out. My God. Once I learned of it, I went to the doctor at 16. At one appointment, 2 GPs were feeling at the same time. Oh my God. And a gyno, and they prescribed me dilators for that's so sad. What the shit? Obviously, they didn't work. No shit. I also have PCOS and very heavy periods. Cups were a nightmare and also very, very painful. Traumatic event caused vaginismus, another condition to Google. I'm aware of what that is. You guys get to educate yourselves. Finally went back to the doctor, and I said, all I want is mitral surgery to snip it. The gyno did just that when I was 24. Local anesthetic, 1 minute snip through the middle, problem solved. Oh my God, that's sick. That is so sad. Monad, welcome. I welcome your community. We've been playing a freaking hilarious game. Seriously, if you haven't played Boyfriend Dungeon, I've never played like a dating simulator before in my life. This game is like a dating simulator mixed with Hades, and it's really fun and hilarious. Somewhat weird and very cheesy, but for the most part, super fun, and we have a good time. But I also used to be a medical professional, and I worked in a hospital for 13 years. So sometimes we get stuck on a medical topic, and I just can't say no. You probably know this. My brain clicks. It's sad because I feel like women, we get kind of classified as cunts or bitches for the way that society has created us to be. Like, we kind of have to be a bitch just to get a doctor to listen to us. Sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, no one's my advocate in a hospital but me. And I have to be pretty darn feisty to get what I need because I'm just untrusted because I have female parts or I present as female. And it's just fucking weird. But it's a bilateral oreectomy without skin removal. Keep the bases covered for potential vaginoplasty. So they can use the skin for the vaginoplasty. Oh, that's fucking awesome. I haven't quite made up my mind on the front yet. That's a serious surgery, while an oreectomy is outpatient. Oh my God. It's an outpatient? That's amazing. Science has come so far. That's incredible. I thought that'd be at least overnight. Wow. That's so fucking exciting. I'm so excited for you. I totally get it, though. I totally get it. Going under the knife, no matter what, is always a nerve-wracking event. No matter what, it's always nerve-wracking. My grandma was super calm and really talked to me what it was, if I remember correct. Like, it's nothing dangerous in such things. If it was my mom, it would have been another question. I feel that. I feel that spiritually. I love you, Monad. Thank you. One of our community members is finally starting to save money and start a GoFundMe for their a word I learned today, oriectomy, which is the testicle removal, not the full bottom surgery, as what we would call bottom surgery, but it's just removing the testicles. So we're celebrating by talking science and just being very, very excited. That's fucking exciting. Yeah, if we speak up, we're a cunt or a bitch. But if we don't speak up, like, we can be sent home with a blood clot and die in our sleep because they think we're obese or something. You know, something stupid, hormonal, whatever. I had to go to the appointment at 24 and say, this is what I have. This is exactly what I want. No exceptions. Thankfully, the doctor listened. The funniest part was at the end, I went, oh, fuck me, out of relief. And the gyno said, that'll be easier. Best gyno appointment ever. That's beautiful. That's so great. Oh, that's amazing. My mom worked with a gyno, so it wasn't creepy. It was just funny. Oh, I mean, most docs have a very good sense of humor, but we find like we're always very tentative with it. Like your doctor will never be the first one usually to crack a joke or usually to try to be funny about anything because most people do not have a sense of humor when it comes to their healthcare. So I always wait for them to be funny, and then I'm like, oh, we can joke. Okay, let's go. The biggest reason for having this one, aside from the dysphoria, is the spironolactone, the testosterone blocker, can have some less than mild long-term side effects. So, by removing the gonads, you're essentially removing what creates and produces the testosterone, removing the need for testosterone blocker, right? Just so I'm educating. I know the surgeries and stuff, but I don't know everything. This is very interesting. Yes, that is fast. That's so smart, though. That's so fascinating and smart. I wish everybody had that option. You know what I mean? The people who amaze me are the doctors who do their own vasectomies. How? Oh my God. They trust themselves more than some other surgeon. That is hard as iron. Oh my fuck. Wow. Wow. You know, Kendo, honestly, I've found it's been a total toss-up. I've had gynos of all over the spectrum, and it really depends on the person. Some of them, I mean, I don't know if it has anything to do with their gender or anything like that, to be honest, but, like, I've had literally for 6 years, I had a female gyno and a female NP that were taking care of me when I kept telling them, like, "So, you put me on the pill and I have chronic migraines," and they're like, "Oh, that's a symptom." And then I went to Baltimore and got a new doc who was a man, and he was like, "That's the number 1 symptom for blood clots forming because of the birth control and could kill you, so we're gonna take you off that immediately." And literally my migraines, like, I still get a migraine every once in a while, not caused by that shit. Usually it's, like, cyclic or on my period or something stupid like that. But I was literally living in a state of migraine. No joke, I had maybe 3 days total a month spread out where I didn't have a migraine. And I was on birth control for that. I mean, it was just that's what you did. I didn't want babies. What were my other options? You know what I mean? Like, none of them. Now I couldn't be on it even if I wanted to because my mom had breast cancer. So neither my sister or I can be on hormonal birth control because just in case it like instigates breast cancer to grow or something stupid like that. Manager can happy, happy, joy, joy. Thank you so much for summoning the class, keeping the classy live, and giving it any swings, Honeybee, and I appreciate you. I'm always a major bitch to be an advocate for my own health for my autoimmune disease. I always tell doctors to give me a certain blood test and medications because I know what works for me. I mean, honestly, you got to be that way, and it's sad. I don't like that we have to, but it's I'd rather you do that. Happy 426. Cheers. I'd rather you do that than not get the care you need, you know? Dumb. Imagine they did one thing wrong and all of a sudden they're bleeding out and nobody else is there to help them. I mean, I would hope they would at least have an assistant or a nurse there with them for that reason, my God. But honestly, there's a lot of surgeons that if they can, they'll do their surgery on themselves because they don't trust anybody. It is weird. Cheers. It's weird, Kendo. It's like when you look at it, yes, but we're so trained that this is just the way it is. You don't really think about it. But, like, it's one of the weirdest things to me that I don't think penis havers have, but correct me if I'm wrong, is that, like, because having a uterus means I basically am on a cycle all the time. Like, I am a cyclic human being. So, it's either the week of my period, or it's the week before my period where I'm ovulating, or it's the week after my period where my hormones are doing this, trying to even out because my period happened. So my progesterone's really high, and my testosterone's not, and my estrogen's all over the place. And then in between those 3 weeks, there's like a good 5 days where you don't wake up questioning reality or your own sanity, and they're precious. You just really look forward to those 5 days a month. But the rest of the time, you're like, my boobs hurt. Am I pregnant or am I just a bitch? My pussy hurts. Am I pregnant or am I just a bitch? It's every day, all the time. It's constant. But you just like that. There is no other way to be. So it's just like, I guess this is what we do. Like men and having their hand on their balls all the time. Dude, Zoe, is it like all the time? Have you tried doing like a topical like this on your boobies? Cheers, Monad. I love you. Cheers, Honeybean. Don't burn yourself. Just had a visit with Boo's brother and wife, and their 2 nuggets. Oh, they're so fucking precious, and I want to eat their little toes. Oh, you gotta eat their little toes. The little nugget toes are the best toes. There's never a time I'm not questioning reality. I feel like there's a good 5 days a month where I wake up, like, just kind of like, I guess I'll just go make coffee. And all the other days, I'm just like, I don't know, I'm dying, I guess. But it's because we never have a stable level of hormones ever. Because we're constantly sick, like, our hormones are never stable, which is why I think the moniker of, like, women being crazy came from, because we're never the same, because we never are. Like, you try. Get this. This is crazy, Kendo. So, I learned this actually just within the last year. I listened to this really cool podcast. It was a Danish psychologist talking about ADHD in women and how ADHD is massively underdiagnosed in women because the symptoms of ADHD in women tend to be favorable aspects society deems as like good, like being super type A, over organizational, being crazy on time, creating lists and schedules and all of that when really they're like suffering and going crazy on the inside. But people say like, "Oh, they're so organized, they're so put together." Da 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 da. So they never get diagnosed. And this is one thing she was talking about. When so a person who has ADHD, like diagnosed ADHD, they on like usually on average have 30-ish% less serotonin, less dopamine, less happy chemicals than the average person. And it can drastically go anywhere from there, but that's like the average. And so that's why ADHD people tend to be very hyperactive. We're trying to bump our levels up to that normal level because your body still strives for it, even though you're constantly here. And so people with ADHD tend to be like risk takers and shit like that. So on a normal day, we're 30% less dopamine, serotonin. The week before and the week during a woman's menstruation, we have 70% less serotonin and dopamine than your average person on top of the ADHD. And like, ADHD medications don't fucking adjust for your hormonal levels or any of that. So like, it's horrible, is all I'm saying. It just is like adding salt onto a big fat wound, you know what I mean? It's the worst. And if you just end up fucking feeling insanely crazy, which is why a lot of people with ADHD, when they get their period, they get really depressed. Really depressed. Because everything just takes a fucking landslide. It's really sad. I think they are. I mean, David, they're like rebelling against us, but at the same time, mystically keeping us alive. Maybe our bodies are bipolar, like our body brains. I've not been able to sleep on my stomach anymore. Zoe, try this. Seriously, or I do this because I'm a big stomach sleeper. I always have been. So I've like adapted to try to sleep on my boobs. And usually it has something to do with doing this with my arms. I literally sleep on top of my arms and they go numb. It's the worst. But if you're super uncomfortable, try it. Or a body pillow. Getting a body pillow to hug so you can like kind of be on your stomach, but not totally, helps take the pressure off because I totally get that, especially when they're sore. No shit. I used to get migraines all the time after my stroke, not had another one. And that's the thing. Birth control, literally, the number one risk of birth control is it causes blood clots to form all over your body, and those will get loose and cause a stroke. Yeah, so once I stopped birth control, my migraines went away because I stopped just having random clots all over my fucking body. But those were all women docs that were keeping me on it and not caring about any of the warnings going on in me, you know? My brain is a hyperactive lump of fat and nerves. I feel that so spiritually, though. Oh, that last song? I'm so sorry I missed that. Hold on. I was trying to Steam is doing weird things again. I hope Steam is Steam broken for anybody? The last song, it's actually it's a mix of Galvanized. Do you remember the song Galvanized from back in, like, the 90s? Hold up. I'll play the original. It's a mix of it, and it's got a million different names, but I'll give you the Spotify. Do you have the Spotify link? I can give you the YouTube one too. Which one works for you better? It's Pete Tong, Heritage Orchestra, Jules Buckley, and Reggie Snow does this version we just listened to. But Chemical Brothers, I think it's the Chemical Brothers, isn't it? That does the original? I think. Hold on. Let me pull it up. I think my internet's just being slow. Why? Yeah, this is the original one. They're both good, though. I found that mix recently, and it was decent. Early today, the client would connect for me. So I think today there's been some problems. Yeah, it's been iffy. It was yesterday and the day before, too. It was a little flicky. I don't know. I hope it's okay. Body pillows are great if you have boobs. I imagine if you have huge boobs, body pillows are the answer, right? I don't even have big boobs, and they still hurts to sleep on my stomach sometimes. It's a great song. Some simple medic training in our medical system's so expensive, I've legitimately looked into seeing if it's something I can do with local anesthetic and a mirror. And while I probably could, there's a few things down there that an accidental incision without being in the hospital equals dead. 100%. Also, the risk of infection, man. You don't come back from that. And I know you've heard my stories. Like, you'd go from removing your testicles to, like, the pelvic ectomy real quick. Not worth fucking around your downstairs. Nobody fuck around with your downstairs. That is a sweaty fun bridge of bacteria nonsense. Your butthole's way too close to that space, and your butthole is full of E. coli and all sorts of stuff that you don't want to get into any sort of wound. Yeah, I wouldn't fuck around with that either. It's very smart of you. My ADHD doctor said to me a few months ago that the medication stops working after a few years. Really? I've been on mine for years. So I've stopped eating them, and I work better without them than with them. I mean, that's kind of awesome. Good for you. I am a mess without mine. Testicles really do look, they're like more plump kidneys, kind of, aren't they? They're like, I think, are kidneys a little bit more flat? Man, I can't remember the last time I saw a kidney. Again, belly button up. I don't really get that low when it comes to stuff. I can't sleep on my stomach because of the blow to my hernia. Oh, ow. Oh, ouch, ouch, ouch. That sucks. That super sucks. Your back kills you if you sleep on your stomach. And see, my back kills me if I sleep on my back. My lower back, for some reason, it feels like my arch is like collapsing while I'm trying to sleep. And I can't do it. So I literally have to sleep on my stomach sometimes. I have to. So I've kind of developed this way of like hugging myself or like doing this shit so that my boobs are protected because you'll just crush them. It hurts. I get it. Especially if they're sore. Anyways, yeah, the song's called Galvanized. There's 2 different versions, though, the mix and then the Chemical Brothers. Both are really, really good, and you should check them out. I just wanted to show you. Same. Dude, honestly, the weekend update is oftentimes the best part of all of SNL. That's what I was saying earlier, Kendo. Like, they're very hit or miss for me these days. They have been for quite some time, to be honest. And a lot of the best people left recently, which is horrifying. I don't know what's going to happen. But Michael Che and, what's his name? I just blanked on his name. He's married to fucking Scarlett Johansson. They're funny as fuck together. They play off each other so well. Jost. Michael Jost? Nope, it's Michael Che. Colin Jost. I didn't look at chat, I swear to God. Colin Jost, I got it. Thank you. Colin Jost. They're fucking so funny together. They are just great. They really, like, it reminds me of, like, you know, the Tina Fey and Amy Poehler days. The chemistry is just on point. Oh my god, The Last of Us Mario Kart, I literally almost pissed my pants. That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in the existence of my life. If you haven't, I'll get busted if I watch too much SNL on my channel. Like, SNL is big and they have a lot of money. Watch that. Oh god, that entire episode with Pedro Pascal is phenomenal, isn't it? He's so the scene when he's in the hospital bed and he talks like that. Oh my god, why are you talking like that? Let's put a cork in that right now. And he has like fucking California mush mouth. I was just like, I didn't need to pee, but I think I was peeing. It was so funny. Pedro Pascal is a fucking just comedy master. I don't know, dude. He can be so serious and so funny. I don't get it. We don't deserve Pedro Pascal. He's just so perfect. I don't get it. He's too funny. We should have had, oh my god. Amen. 100% he should have played Mario. Yes. I love Amy Poehler and I still watch Mean Girls regularly. I tweeted a Mean Girls quote the other day. Have you ever, raise your hand if you've ever been personally victimized by Regina George? Oh my god, he does look like Jeremy Renner. That's weird. They have the same like wrinkles in their face. I love it when they write each other's jokes and Shay makes Colin say racist jokes. Pedro, oh my god, I know. When they don't know what they're about to read off the prompter and they just like crack up at themselves because it's horrible, it just kills me so much. I love it. They literally like they bully each other through the script, and it's fucking genius. I know. I know. I talked too much. You probably have to pee already. You needy bitch. SNL has a lot of great times. It'll cycle back. I agree. Yep, they always have the growing pains of new casts or old cast members being boring because they won't break stuff. Yeah, it'll go. It always comes and goes, right? But that Pedro Pascal episode was phenomenal. It was so funny. So fucking funny. The details of his snowplow accident? No. No, that's it. I made a pretty off-taste joke about his face, to Zach, but that was about it because I am a dark human and my heart is dead. Jimmy Fallon was the reason I stopped watching on SNL. Dude, I don't even think I was watching SNL when he was on it. I don't think I was. I think that was one of the periods of time where I just wasn't watching. However, there is a funny skit. I think it's him. Is it Jimmy Fallon? I think, no, it's not. It's not. Just kidding. I take it back. It's not Jimmy Fallon. It's, Myers, Austin Powers Austin Powers, dude, Myers. Him and Nicole Kidman, they're playing kids. They're like acting like they're kids on a playground, and he's special, you know, like touched by Jesus, and he has like a leash on, and he's stuck to a jungle gym, and he can't get off of it, and she's asking him questions as a little girl. That's probably one of the funniest things ever, but I totally thought it was Jimmy Fallon for a second. It's not. I take it back. Mike Myers, thank you. Michael Myers, murderer. Crushed by a snowplow and wind up with 30 broken bones. I've seen pictures. It's horrible what happened to him. Pedro's more attractive to me than Jeremy. I've never thought Jeremy was attractive, but Pedro for some reason. It's something about, yeah, I think it is charisma, if you call it anything. Like the way he holds himself, his personality. I don't fucking know. That's a lot of bones. Well, it was his face. I mean, how many bones do you have in your face alone? The Sugar Rush Kid. Yes, the Sugar Rush Kid. Exactly. Oh my god, the fact that you knew what the skit was called. Shut the fuck up. Hold on. Because it's all of our favorites, I mean, do you not agree that we must watch it? I'm gonna have to take a break anyways because I've already overtalked and my dogs have to go outside. So let's fucking Sugar Rush Kid, yeah? Yeah. Yep. If you haven't seen it, you're gonna fucking die. Oh my god! Oh my god, my second favorite SNL skit when they all acted like bugs with, Raimi is the first hit when that comes up. Rami Malek, that's a really funny one too. That is not the one we are talking about. That is neither here nor there. This is, oh my god, how old is this one? It's more than 9 years old. Is it only 9 years old? I feel like this one came out way before that. Maybe. Hello, Erica, my love. How are you? Pedro, he is a little scruffy. He looks like less pretty. I like that. A spooter tweet that might actually make you scream. Maybe. Mobile. I'm scared, but maybe. Don't anyone else click this. You don't know what will happen to you. I'm risking myself for you. Oh, I've seen this. I've seen this before. Yeah, I've seen that before. Um, so, like, there was a post like that similar because this has happened a couple times on Reddit, and ear doctors will comment on it, and they're all pretty sure that people put a spider in their ear for the Vine because there's no history of this ever occurring before Vine and TikTok. But I don't know. Because spiders don't like warmth, and they don't like people, and they don't like air. So there's no reason a spider would ever crawl inside your dark, hot ear near your breathy mouth. Like, logically, they think that kids do this, like, to make a TikTok. I'm not shitting you. It started as a legend, like a urban legend, and then people did it because spiders, literally, invertebrates hate everything that has to do with people. They don't like wind, they don't like things that move, they don't like heat. All this, not a spider's environment in any way, shape, or form. So there's no logical reason a spider would actually try to crawl in your mouth and or ear unless you put it there or scared it in your ear, which is even more fucked up. That's more fucked up. If you think about it, not only did they think, I'm gonna film this, they put it there for the film this moment. What the fuck? Icky. So I'm not shitting you. I asked doctors when this, because I saw one of these years ago, and I asked one of the doctors, and I don't have like a cup, but basically what they do is catch like a house spider in a cup, put the cup on their ear, and wait. No shit. And the spider is terrified because everything else is bright and scary, so they try to hide. Like, that's the only, I'm not shitting you. That's what the doctor told me they're pretty sure kids are doing. Because it's a phenomena that's only happened since the existence of social media. Literally, there's no recorded history of it happening beforehand, which is fucking weird. I know. I know. I know. I know. That makes it so much more fucked up, though, right? It's still fucking horrifying. Do not click that if you have any qualms with spiders in any way, shape, or form. Don't click that. They're little dummies. I mean, when I was a kid, I put Barbie earrings up my nose. Did you not know that, David? It's kind of like rat poop and cereal. They are. They're precious little dummies that are learning. This is just not it makes me feel bad for the spider too. I mean, I've seen people dupe. I've seen people on, I mean, this is a big reason why I'm not on TikTok is when I first started trying to figure TikTok out, I would look for tarantula videos, and half the videos were people pranking each other with tarantulas, i.e., the tarantula ended up dead at the end of the video every time. Like, they'd put it in their mom's sock drawer and film her destroying it with a book. And I was like, no, I'm fucking out. I'm fucking out. I want the world to know that shit's just gotta go. But for some reason, torturing an insect is not torturing an animal in the eyes of people. I don't get it. It's still a fucking life. That's disgusting to me. Fuck off. It's as bad. I mean, Fear Factor did it. If you guys remember the original Fear Factor when like Joe Rogan hosted it, they had things where literally they'd have like a tub of those big black millipedes that are literally like cock thickness, and they'd be like, you have to eat 7 alive. And the people would into the middle of them alive. It was fucking disgusting. I watched one episode of Fear Factor. That was it. And I never watched another one. It's animal cruelty at the end of the day, but no one cares because it's a bug. It's still a fucking life. I think it's disgusting. I don't care. Like, there's no reason to torture anything. You know what I mean? The fuck. Cheers, and let's watch. Oh no. People go after it in both horrible ways. Like, people would either use the R word in the worst way possible or otherwise, yeah. No, but I mean, it's one of those things we cherish as one of those things that at the time, it was it was great. And I'm glad it exists. But I'm glad we also have a different scope these days. And that's why I always, like, I know there's a lot of you out there that in no way maliciously use the R word, i.e. the one that is flame retardant or retarding a chemical process in chemistry. I know that. I completely understand. It was also too part of my natural vernacular for years and years and years. So was gay. And I am gay. Like, none of it makes sense. And we're all trying to do our best, right? But I always try to put a warning out there because I don't want you to make an idiot of yourself, you know? Like, the word has no positive connotation anymore. At all. Yep. It's a word that belongs in chemistry, and outside of that, I just don't know where. Like, there's other. I challenge people to like be creative with language in a nice way, not a mean way. Like, we have such a beautiful, diverse world of words and you know language that like to resort to some of the most base, stupid things that objectify and or knock down an entire community of people that cannot stand up for themselves or aren't being listened to. It's just not really worth our time. We're smarter than that. I think we can be clever in other ways that aren't that. What's a dolly clip? A dolly clip? Go ahead. We have to take a break real quick before we run an ad because, of course, I talk too much, but we can watch it before we play boyfriend game. Yes. Coven, I try my best. I absolutely try my best. I haven't slipped for a really long time with that one, actually. I'm pretty proud of myself. Good job, Katie. I've been pretty good. But those, I mean, I can look at like letters I wrote my sister when I was in college, like handwritten letters she saved, and everything's gay or the R word, everything. And I was just a young, dumb person who had no scope, I had no context, and I had no one around me to be like, hey, that hurts some people's feelings? Yo. And I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I can be more creative and I can be a lot more original with what I say. I don't need to be cruel. Oh, I love Dolly Parton. Or it's not going to load. Oh, it's a vertical. Hold on. I'm going to have to reload it. It's one of those stupid vertical videos. It's like one they made as like a TikTok and then someone took the TikTok and made it into a YouTube video. TikTok ruins everything. Thank you. I'll get it to work. I just got to reload it in a different page. I used the R word for years as a clinical term, but I know other people didn't mean it in the same way. Exactly. And its context is everything. And that's the problem. You don't know someone's context or you don't know someone's, what's the word? You don't know their intent. And it's not our job to going around asking people's intent. Like, I think it's just nicer. There's so many words in the world. Like, you can't say that that's the only one you can ever use. You can figure out other words to say things are dumb. Like, dumb. It's kind of dumb. It's kind of stupid. It's kind of Trumpy. We have all sorts of dumb examples these days we could use that have nothing to do with the words we used to use that were just cruel. You know what I mean? What up, Pendragon? Happy today. How are you? Self-improvement is a lifelong journey, Katie. Absolutely. We're all on it. Some just need help getting on the right trail. 100%. Yes. And if you don't have exposure to certain groups of people or just like you don't have anyone willing to talk to you about anything like that, I don't fault anyone for that. And that's why I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I don't think people are always cruel right away. I try not to. Usually people make it very clear they're trying to be cruel very, very quickly, though. So I don't usually have to figure it out, especially in this format. Our word strength used to be the clinical term for it, yes. If I say something is gay these days, it's in direct relation to something exploding with rainbows. Me too. Or it's in direct relation to my sexuality or how much I love someone's big, big, beautiful titties. Yep, same. But I used to say, like, things were gay because I hated them. School was gay. Everything was gay. And I just, like, it's weird, but when you're young and you're, still learning language, even though we think we're really cool at 18, you don't really, I don't know. It's weird. I don't really know. I can't remember what made me stop. I think I just figured, like, that was a stupid word to use and it made me feel bad. I don't remember. It's been a while now with that one. Pretty sure I've already crystallized into the perfect distilled version of myself. Abso-fucking-lutely. You shine on, bitch. Use a fucking diamond, as Rihanna would say. Ignorant, yep. Calling oneself dumb back then puts you down. I don't ever call myself dumb because I made decisions from not knowing. And I try to think of it now. I try to think of myself as just uneducated because I've never tried to be closed off to any sort of education or learning someone else's side or someone, like I always try to say, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm totally unsure on something, because I don't want to be stupid. I don't want to be ignorant. I would love to learn if there's someone here who knows the deets and stuff like that. I think that's a way more effective way of like growing as a person, kind of like Cora said, it's a journey your entire life. And as long as you're actively participating in it, I think that's what's important and trying. Full vacation mode. Fuck yes. You guys need to go outside. You don't go outside? Okay. I know. I talk too much. Boyfriend game. When we come back, I swear to God. Dolly, whatever. Poodles are weird. I never see them eat, I swear to God. But all of a sudden, their bowls are empty. They're just grazers. It's the strangest thing. But Trick was just like sitting next to an empty bowl like, Mom. Kevin, there's been a few artists who have like gone back on tracks and gotten rid of language like that, which I think is really cool because especially if it's a song that is super popular to this day. There's like some songs like those fucking Let's Get It Started by Black Eyed Peas and such, so on and so forth, that are, like, played at weddings regularly, where they realize that, like, times are changing, but their song is still played literally constantly, and it doesn't affect the song to just fucking not use harmful language, you know? In my opinion. Ike Wolf, my love, thank you so much for subbing to the class, keeping the classy alive, giving it fucking anus its wings. How are you? Thank you, love. That is such a long fucking time. I'm just moving screens so we can boyfriend search or whatever. We get to fight. I'm pretty sure I did all the dating yesterday, so we don't have to fucking date anybody right now. Hopefully. Cross your dicks. Cross thine peni. Sidewalk, thank you so much for saying thank you. Manners are so fucking underrated, I think. It's so easy to say thank you. Thank you for saying thank you. That shit gives me peen pleasure. We will be crossing thine penine. Hopefully not. I think I got all the dating out of the way, I hope. God, it's too much. Sometimes, man. And it's like, you feel like you're gonna get into the dungeon and fight a lot, and suddenly you just have to go on a lot more dates, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, all the fucking fountains and shit. They're just... The least the game could... This is my suggestion. Just make the people at least mildly interesting to listen to if you're gonna make them talk this much. That's it. That's it. Because the majority of the time, I kind of want to plug my ears and cry. Answering emails or something, and Lil was stretched out on her back, like completely dead asleep, like, you know, dick up, arms splayed, asleep to the world on the couch over there. And I could see her out of my periffs. So I'm sitting here typing something, and I hear this very low, perfect, just like, oh. And I look, because by the time I could hear it, because it was so quiet, I look over, and the dogs aren't doing anything. Like, they're dead asleep. So I thought maybe it was like a really far away, like, siren outside or something coming from Zach's office or something. So I walk down the hall to Zach's office, listening the whole time, and I hear nothing. And when I'm walking back down the hall, I hear, ooh, just the quietest, fucking weirdest howl. And by the time I get out here, she started a new one, and it was the most pure, crystal clear howl. I'm not going to even try to imitate because it'll fucking break everybody's eardrums. But she was doing it in her sleep, dead asleep, eyes closed, on her back. Ooh. It was the cutest shit. By the time I got my phone out, she was done. I tried to get these things, but I just don't think about it. It was the cutest. I have no idea what she was dreaming about, but it was precious. She's the only one that will really ever do it, and it's usually if there's a siren or something going on. But it was real cute. She just looks so funny. She does the pursed lips, like, ooh, thing. It's so cute. Dogs are weird. The Poods are always reminding you for breaks, ethical work. Honestly, I'm into it. I think more people should feel okay with standing up for 3 minutes every hour and stretching their legs. Because honestly, I don't know how long it's been since the last break, but my butt cheeks are sore already. This butt cheek feels crampy. Like, I gotta stand. I gotta get some blood flow to my cheeks. It ain't good for you. No blood flow means dead tissues. Nobody wants a butt tumor. Then what do you do? Thank you, Shadow. I like it too. I gave the lady who did my hair creative freedom, and I think she did a really fucking phenomenal job. Do you guys want to go outside? Is that why you're gonna go potty? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do. I knew it. I knew it. I missed the pun. God, whoa. My monitor just turned off out of nowhere. Why? My plug, bitch. I'll kill you. Literally, my monitor with chat on it just died. No. Bitch, I'll come for you. Why are you like this? No, it's not dead. It's good. They probably just bumped a chord in their excitement. Fuck. I wanted to read and try to figure the pun out, but I can't even remember what I read anymore to try to remember the pun. Oh, what a lovely time we're having. I'd name the tumor Marla Singer. Let's be real. You'd have a new friend for life. Only if it had teeth and it could talk to me, though. I have a black belt and sitting. I'm surprised I don't have calluses. Man, I can't do it for very long. I start to get super twitchy, and I like, the only time I can really do it is if I fucking go to sleep. I wish I would have seen this before booking my room in TwitchCon. Vegas, first 420 friendly hotel. I mean, doesn't mean we can't visit it. Most hotels, I mean, every hotel in Vegas has, like, things to do that aren't just sleeping there. They've got to have places, at least we know where we can buy our weed, right? Then it turns evil. I mean, dude, just imagine listening to a voice coming from your ass. I don't know what I'd do about that. Oh, they're Carl Barks. God damn it, Lizzie. Ooh, pretty color. I just try to find the ones that say, like, use these, but give me credit. I give credit. That one's a really cool one. It's pretty. Exactly, Lizzie. And I think that's what I've learned is like I try not to assume it, but I don't want anyone ever to feel like like I'm calling you out as stupid or something because you didn't know something. We all don't know everything. I'm very, very ignorant in a lot of areas in this world. And that's okay. It's room to grow and learn and shit. And there's got to be like, there's specialists in every field and stuff and whatever. We all try to do our best. I never assume ill intent. I try not to. Oh my god, I used to be very into, like, pimple popper videos and stuff. I kind of got, like, bored with them, but I used to watch a shit ton of that stuff. Oh, yeah. You know what I would do when I got home from the hospital? I would get super, super high, smoke, like, 3 bowls in my little pipe as fast as I could in the yard, and then I would go lay down in my basement bed where it was, like, cold and dark, and I would put my laptop up with Bob Ross, and I would just sit there stoned out of my mind trying to to sleep during the day because I work night shifts, listening to Bob Ross. Bob Ross was my my song of sleep every day. It was great. That's the most relaxing shit you can ever put on if you're high. Holy crap. Positivity across the board. Happy 426/420 slash whatever. Cheers. Yes. Oh my god, Vissy just said the same thing. Those non-talking restoration videos. I love them. I also love non-talking cooking videos. I listen to those a lot. I think it's partially like cheers, Viata. I think it's partially an ASMR thing. I have a lot of fond memories as a kid listening to my mom and all my aunts cook in the kitchen for like family holidays or whatever. And I've always been a good napper, especially when people are around. And I would usually be like dozing on the couch, listening to them like lightly chatter in the kitchen and just listening to kitchen sounds, but it's not like loud and obnoxious. There's no like weird music going on or anything. They're very relaxing. Cheers for the happy trees, love. Water tanks were a common way to make atmospheric effects. Really? If you all remember the scene with the bowl from James and the Giant Peach, I just watched that recently. I just watched that a couple days ago. That's just milk in no shit. The rhino? I can sense that rhino. Oh, I hear that rhino. He's coming for you. Yeah, the rhino? That's just milk shot in water upside down. That's fascinating. That's fascinating. Yeah, I think that, I mean, as simple as it is to make, it's beautiful. It's still beautiful. I still like to watch it. When I was a kid, David, I had a few Barbies. This was when I was real young before I got into the destroying Barbies stage. And I didn't really play with Barbies. I was never really into dolls, but one thing I remember loving to do is taking my Barbies in the pool and watching their hair underwater. I think it's the same thing. And as an adult with long hair, I used to watch my hair underwater in the bathtub. There's something about things in water and the way they move. It's like it's kind of hypnotizing a little. It's like a different world. I don't know, it's weird. When I was watching a documentary and they said something about copper being a metal, I was like, "Whoa, I didn't know that." And I was like 19 or something. My friends ripped into me about that for years. Dude, I've learned shit. I don't understand why ripping into people. I mean, I didn't know how to what's the word I say wrong all the time? There's a couple I say wrong all the time, but, compromise? You guys are the first to ever call me out on how I say compromise in my life. We're learning all the time. The fuck? You had one of those smoky live wallpapers on your phone? I did for about a day until I realized how fast they killed your phone, and then I killed it real quick. No live wallpapers for this kid. What's a lemon? I don't know. I don't get anything wet. This is a great song. I'm trying to think. I've learned I've learned shit as an adult that makes me feel like dumb as fuck. I can't think of any. Like those today I learned shits. I can't think of one right now, but I've definitely had moments like that where I'm like, wow. Wow. I'm sad I learned that today and not 30 years ago. I love me ASMR, but y'all know this. I believe there's an ASMR for everyone because ASMR is a vastly misunderstood term. It is not just up close wet whisperers. That's just one specific trigger finding sound. Do you want to know what I thought ASMR was? before I knew about, like, before I understood what you're saying, like, it tickles that thing in your brain that helps you relax. I quite literally thought it was people eating up close to a mic. That was my very, very first exposure to ASMR shit on I can't remember if it was on Instagram or YouTube, but literally the camera was just their mouth, and they would eat the most ridiculously noisy items just, like, here. And it was, like, things that would pop and crunch in their mouth and shit, and I was like, "This is my fucking nightmare." It was mouth sounds on crack. And I was like, "Who does this relax?" Nobody. Maybe somebody, it's not this girl. I wanted to smack my phone. I was like, "Stop." Uh, Absolutely not. But then I learned there's so many different versions, and I really like the cooking ones. There are no mouth sounds involved. It's kind of funny because usually it's a pretty good indicator that people are real dumb if you never hear them ask a question. Why? Lilith agrees with you, David. Coven, I would stick my hand in their mouth. I'd be like, "Does that feel nice?" And they'd be like, "Stop, that's annoying." And I'd be like, "Yeah, it is. Isn't it?" Act like a child, get treated like a child. I thought it was only smexy whispers and such. It's so much more, exactly. It's like all different audio cues, exactly. That milk and water is the effect used on close encounters with spaceships entering the atmosphere. I'm trying to think. It's probably used in a lot of different things. There's a million different videos where they use that effect, like in Ghostbusters, with the Zool and the keymaker and the door fucking whatever. They have a lot of smoky smoke effects in that, and I'm sure it's the same kind of thing. It's cool. I have mild misophonia. I would leave the table if someone ate with their mouth open. I couldn't bear it. Thankfully, I don't know anyone that's really, really bad that I'm around regularly, but I couldn't do it either. Unless it's like someone who has a cold and they can't breathe out their nose. I can excuse it. Like, I get you're sick. Funniest thing was watching Braveheart in an abridged funny video, and one of them, at the scene where he's beheaded, yelled out in a shocked voice, "He dies?" Oh my god. That's fucking beautiful. That's fantastic. That's just genius, though. Sorry, it's so quiet. There's no sounds because we're in a creep. I have something really cool to show you. I thought this was really cool. A member of the community actually got this book for me, and it's really interesting. It is Spiders of the World, A Natural History. But it goes, like we were saying, spider is an insanely general term. But I was looking over the trapdoor spider, and it showed a really, really, really cool, like, macro shot of the trapdoor. Look at this. Spider warning, I guess, for those that get nervous. But I just thought this was one of the prettiest. I think there's two pictures. The only reason I would ever get a trapdoor spider is because of the way that their trapdoors can look and the way the spider looks coming out of it. My lights are kind of bleaching it out, but that is the trapdoor spider. That's all of its legs facing forward, hiding its gigantic fucking fangs. And you see this like cool ass webbing that occurs around it. The spider does all of this. This spider is an artist. Art. Is that the coolest thing? It's such a nice picture of it, but I thought that I've never seen a trapdoor spider like this ever in my life. I think they mostly live in tropical areas, honestly. Yeah, they live in Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, Malaysia, and Sumatra. So I've never seen anything like that. But that's the spider out of the hole, which is also fucking gorgeous. Feed me, Seymour, right? And obviously someone's propped open the trapdoor. Normally they're closed, but that's the trapdoor. And these tendrils, if a bug, if food stumbles across a tendril, the little spider feels it way down here in the ground and comes up and goes and grabs them. Tarantulas essentially do the same thing minus the door. But that, I just thought, it's beautiful. You would have a really cool looking trapdoor, spidery looking thing. And if you see it from the top down, some of them, it's a circle of those tendrils all around it. It looks like an octopus. It's really cool. And the fact that this is all just like this crazy instinctual behavior. You know what I mean? Like none of us can spin a home with our asshole. Ugh. Okay, one more spider warning. I got to the mygalomorphs, i.e. the fucking purse web. If you scared, it's cool. Okay, this is a purse web spider. The mygalomorphs. Do you see what I mean when I say their fangs are literally like arguably, and they're like that all the time. That's just how they walk around. They're very small. This picture is insanely big, as you can tell by literally the grains of sand. If this doesn't, I mean, come on, let's think together. Grains of sand. They're very, very small. Most of them are harmless, but they're not cute. Not my favesies. Don't want one. Mm-mm. In no way, shape, or form am I interested in those guys. They're cool. It's interesting to learn about them, but I don't want nothing to do with those. They've, like, what the nope. 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 That's a big violent nope on my part. And I love me some cool tarantulas, but those are scary spiders. And fun fact, if this gives anyone oh, this is the picture I want to show you. This is the someone you know, I've seen them do this. They don't slice a spider's home in half. What they're able to do is basically like if a tunneling type spider tunnels down to the ground, like a trapdoor spider, they take a piece of very, very thin, very sharp plexiglass and they slice through the entire container through the little spider's tunnel. But they leave all that dirt on top. They leave everything, and then they can look down. They can put a camera down and like look down into the spider's tunnel and take pictures without like destroying or digging out the spider or anything like that. It's safe. I don't know how they do it. I couldn't do it. I would never do that, but they know how to do it. So this is one of those pictures where they were able to slice into it. That's the little guy inside. So remember all those little legs sticking out? So that's like a bisection of their little home underground, and they live there their whole life, and they just wait for ants to pop by and they grab them, and that's the end of their lives. But they're kind of precious when they're in their little spots. Just like, I mean, they're so tiny. If you can tell, that's like the bark of a tree around them, I think. It looks like tree bark. That's how they're itty bitty bitty. They are. It's almost, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, and every type of spider makes different types of webs. You can literally, like, entomologists can identify a spider by the web they find. They don't even need to find the spider half the time. And that's really cool to me. I am in no way that smart. I know a lot about the spiders I keep personally because I think it's important to know about what you're like taking care of. And then we got the tarantulas. Those are my babies. But what I was gonna say, if this gives anyone a peace of mind, the biggest difference, you know, biologically speaking, between a spider and a tarantula is that there is no deadly tarantula in the world. It doesn't exist. There are some spiders that can hurt you that are called medically significant, meaning you probably need to go to the hospital if you get bit by one. That's the biggest difference. The biggest visual difference is tarantulas will never be on an orb web, like the Charlotte's Web thing. They do not do that. They live underground, on the ground, or in a tree, and they usually live in a hole in a tree. They spin that really thick webbing that just covers surfaces, and they are hairy as fuck. Spiders will sometimes have little hairs all over their body, but not near to the extent a tarantula. Tarantulas are damn near fluffy. Like some of them, I have 2 tarantulas called curly hairs. They're fluffy as fuck because their eyes are terrible. They can't hear anything. So their only way to sense the entire world around them is vibrations in the air and in the webbing they lay everywhere. So if you ever think you see a tarantula, it's hella hairy, it's big, it's chonky, it's not living in a web in the corner of your ceiling. It's harmless. Put a fan on, it will go away. They hate wind. Hate it. Despise. We love the fun-sized. Vissy, if I stood up, Vissy comes to about here on me. About here. She's like right at pit level. Ish. We're only a foot different, not even that. We're like 11 inches-ish. I'm thick as fuck. Are there any hunting tarantulas, like wolf spiders or jumping spiders? Or they all have shit for eyesight? Almost every single tarantula in the world has shit for eyesight. There's, of course, always going to be variances. For instance, what entomologists believe is that arboreal tarantulas, meaning tarantulas that live in the trees, like I have a pink toe tarantula, or, I have a ghost tree tarantula or whatever it's called. There are some, very few, it's not a huge family of tarantulas, but there are some tarantulas who live in trees, usually like in a knot in a tree or something like that. They presumptuously have better eyesight because of where they live. They live in an environment where things tend to be faster. There's a lot more predators versus most tarantulas are what we call fossorial. So they literally dig a hole underground and live in it their entire life. What they do is if they're molting, they web the top of their hole over, like with a nice little light gauzy webbing. So if you own a tarantula and their hole is webbed over, that's a sign for leave me the fuck alone. They'll open it up when they're ready to eat or anything. Usually it means they're molting, and then what they do is when they're done molting, they open it up, and they literally just wait for bugs to fall down that hole. Their whole life. I have a species of tarantula. Actually, her enclosure is this one. Can you see all that dirt? It's literally dirt to here with maybe like a 2 inches-ish of space at the top. That is Persephone. She's one of my golden girls. She's absolutely phenomenally beautiful, and yet I see her once a year. She is a species from Thailand. She's called the Thailand golden fringe, and in nature, they literally dig a 7-meter hole underground and live in it forever. They actually, it's really, really interesting. They dig it in a very interesting way because in Thailand, it's a very like humid, jungle-esque area on the water, and so they get a lot of rainfall, and tarantulas will drown. They have gills, kind of like a fish. They're called book lungs, and they're on their belly. So if a tarantula is stuck in a pool of water, it will just drown. It has no option but to inhale that water and die. So tarantulas try to stay the fuck away from water. So what they do is they dig this 7-meter hole, but it goes down and then does this so that the water has a chance to pool like a million times before it gets to where they actually are sitting 7 meters underground. And again, they just wait for bugs to fall underground and that's it. There isn't really a tarantula that hunts specifically just because of their eyesight. They are opportunistic eaters to the max. There's no tarantula that's like a wanderer, like nothing like a jumping spider. Jumping spiders are by far way more intelligent, way more. Their eyesight is way fucking better. I think you guys know that though. Thank you, Lilac. I like it too. She's a beautiful spider. She's absolutely. I named her Persephone because she's my beautiful underground princess that I never get to see because she lives underground. It's really cool. The variation in tarantulas is honestly part of the coolest, probably the coolest part about them. But most of them live underground and are just opportunistic. They don't really hunt. They'll hunt if they're starving. I love you, Vissy. Have a good night, Honeybean. If they're starving, they will hunt. Like, they will absolutely come out and look for food and water, but that's if they're literally about to die. The only other time you'll ever see tarantulas wandering, because I'm sure you've probably seen, like, in the fall, if you live in the desert somewhere on the news, they're always like, it's tarantula migrating season. And they show like this really old footage of like 20 tarantulas kind of like running at full speed across some desert area. And they're like, look at them go. Oh my God. So what happens is that tarantulas have a very varied lifespan. Most tarantula species, they're not sexually dimorphic, meaning the males and the females look almost identical other than the males. Once the males become sexually male, like they go through a lot of molts, once they're full grown essentially and they have their sexual organs, they tend to skinny out and look really leggy and their body is really small compared to the rest of them and they're weird looking. But it's not anything to do with their gender. It's because they literally become sex crazed and stop eating. So a male tarantula, depending on the species, they usually only live up to about 7 years. That's like max lifespan, not being murdered. That's like a natural lifespan. Most of the time, they die while trying to breed. Most of the time, females will like reject them or eat them after breeding or something like that. Like most spiders do this. A lot of the insect world does this. It's not just black widows. And so what happens is when this like biological clock kicks in a male tarantula, it's saying like, this 7-meter hole is really nice, but you're going to die a virgin. This is the best way I can put it in layman's terms. It kicks in, they abandon their home, and they go walking out in the open where they are ridiculously vulnerable. I mean, they're literally a water balloon. Like a water balloon made of soft, wet tissue paper is a tarantula. They're super, super delicate. They can't drop from very far. 6 inches can pop them and kill them. So they are sex crazed. They starve themselves to death, and they go out looking for females, and it's usually in the fall. So if you're ever wandering in the desert and you see some scrawny looking fucking tarantula looking crazy and it runs at you, it's because it's dehydrated, it's starving, and you're a tree. You're shadowed. That's it. Tarantulas are inherently know they can't harm something as big as us. It literally is so psychotically like dehydrated. It just like try to give it some water. Seriously. I've had multiple tarantulas that when I adopt them and bring them home, they face plant a water dish. They're so dehydrated. Everything needs water, even a bug. The wife of Hades. Yep, that's what I named her after. She literally lives underground. The way I know she's still alive is when she's hungry, I see like 2 legs popping out of the hole like this, and they're black with like this iridescent gold like outlining sheen. She looks fake. Just look up Thailand golden fringe tarantula if you're brave. They're fucking beautiful. Beautiful species. It blows me away every time I get to see her. But she doesn't come out because, I mean, that's instinctual. She has no defense mechanism at all. She's not deadly. This is it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of is depressing when you think about it. This is why I get mad when I see people like pranking each other with tarantulas and shit like that. Like, we don't have a right to demolish a creature just because we're afraid of it. Now, if it's putting our loved ones in danger, sure. But you can't just, that's just not right. Food is for the virgin incels. I'm serious. It's literally, they become sex crazed. And so this is the comparison. So male tarantulas can live 5 to 7 years, depending on the species, depending on, that's a really long natural lifespan. Females can live up to 35 fucking years. Some species, not all. Some species, like the Poecilotheria metallica, the like jewel blue one I was talking about the other day, their lifespan's usually 15 to 17 if it's a female. But Grammostola pulchra, like the Mexican black velvet, which is the Schroderi, Tleilocatl Schroderi, Azula, which is my Brachypelma bome, Mexican fireleg, hence the Azula name. All of those ladies can live up to 35 years if they have like optimal, conditions, perfect genetics, like, which is wild when you think it's an arachnid. But damn, they're ancient. Tarantulas I know are from the prehistoric era. I don't remember like where the megalomorphae. I don't know, that MY throws me off. I don't remember which era from there. They're a little bit older, and I think scorpions are older than all of them, I think. It's been a while. I gotta read up. I feel stupid. I did play Assassin's Creed Odyssey. If you go to my Steam page, I'm not saying you have to right now, but if you're ever bored and you like peruse people's Steam page, I'm pretty sure the only screenshot that I have on my Steam page that's like the highlight of my Steam page is me hanging off the giant cock statue. It's cock. One-handed. That was Odyssey, right? Because I did that. That was great. Sronlin. I've seemed to have pressed a button again. Was it an accident?
That sucks. Calm the bitch down. Thank you so much for subbing to the class.
Keeping the classy alive and giving an anus its wings. I appreciate you. Thank you. Jellyfish. Jellyfish are wild. Jellyfish are literally a sentient digestive system. That's it. A sentient digestive system is a jellyfish. That's all. They freak me out. Like, just in their concept. I'm not, like, terminally afraid of jellyfish. Although most of them can sting. I'm not going to go fuck with one. But, like, it's a digestive system surrounded by some gelatin that is sentient. It eats with its asshole. That's what I'm saying. Clara, how are you? I've heard about that. Yes, lobsters are, like, theoretically immortal. Unless they're killed, theoretically. Sue me. I don't think lobster's as good as people crack it up to be. I'd take crab any day over lobster. Jordan Peterson says lobsters are alpha. Wait, what does that mean? Alpha? Like awesome? What is alpha? What's alpha? When we were kids, we would have jellyfish fights. I know, poor things. We didn't know. And throw the glassy ones at each other. Dude, I probably would have done the same. We probably would have been just as gross. My brothers did gross shit like that all the time. Like, I think I was old enough to know better, but I would, so I didn't, like, join in. I thought it was disgusting what they were doing, but if I was young and stupid, I probably would have done it. But I loved catching garter snakes. I loved catching garter snakes in my yard all the time in the summertime. It was my favorite thing ever to do. If I found garter snakes, I was, like, the happiest fucking little girl in the world. And if my brothers found me with them, they would grab them and whip them so their heads snapped off. Terrible. Sociopathic motherfuckers. Alpha, it's what comes before beta and then full release. Wait. But how can a person be alpha? Is that like being a sperm? It was disgusting. They were gross. They were fucked. They had their own shit. I mean, everybody has their own shit. It doesn't excuse it, but yeah, they fucked up. Oh my god, Clara. I had just got it done a week ago. Don't worry. It's still pretty new. Thank you. I like it too. I like it a lot. It makes me feel bright and shiny. Bright and shiny. Alpha is some douche bro, toxic male douche ideal. Oh, like the alpha male thing. Okay. Like the people who would have been killed by Norse societal justice systems who idealize ancient Norse culture. Wait, is that a word they're using to identify? Like these people that like to say they're trying to claim, you know, Norse. Do you see fucking... They're so creepy sometimes. Alpha meaning they like to dominate other lobsters and get bit. Lady lobsters. Hell yeah. Lobsters are very interesting. I actually followed a guy on YouTube for years that bought a lobster from a restaurant, but he rescued it and raised it in a fish tank. That was very weird to watch. I love it. Isn't it? It's like spring colors. It's like Easter colors, but not pastel and boring. I feel like a fun Easter egg, and I'm okay with that. Or like jelly beans. Speaking of jellies, have you seen the blue dragon sea slug? Yes. Oh my god, yes. Oh yeah. It ingests the toxins from a blue bottle jelly. Portuguese man of war and concentrates it so they're super deadly. I saw an idiot one time pick one up on YouTube. Literally, I think that's how I learned about them. Literally, the video was called, "This is why we don't pick up blue dragon sea slugs." And someone picked it up and like immediately you see their hand like go, ugh, and they drop it. It's a TikTok of someone trying to look cool or some stupid shit like that. Did you see that exact one? Why? Again, you can never assume intelligence or assume whatever it's called, like what's common sense. We can't assume it. But I guess I grew up on the ocean and I've just was raised as a general rule, don't touch anything in the ocean. Don't touch anything. Chances are it's got a spiky end. That kept me safe. Like we dug for clams, we went crabbing, you know, with crab pots and shit like that. But if I went playing around in tide pools and shit like that, it was like, don't poke a colorful thing. You don't know what it's gonna do. Enjoy it. Exactly. Enjoy the sight. Yep, my mom did so get this. This is what my mom taught us, and I don't know where she got this, if it was like from school or something like that. But because I had a lot of siblings and it was just my mom usually doing stuff with us because my dad worked construction hours, crazy ass hours and days. My mom taught us what she called the was it the professor walk? It was either the professor walk or the scientist walk, something like that. But it was you hold your hands behind your back and you look very like official, shoulders up and head up and look like you fucking own the place. Or you put your hands in your pockets. And it's the professor walk. And it was like getting us to, it was like a game. We all thought it was a game. We were acting, but it was her way of getting us not to touch shit. It was genius. I still do it to this day, like in place, because I'm I love to touch stuff. I'm very, very tactile. And yeah, I will put my hands in my pockets immediately because it's just safe. Like, don't do that. What do you mean? Comment on drama? I don't think so. I mean, I probably do on accident. What kind of drama? Maybe. Probably on accident, but not as a goal. Exactly. Anything this bright, don't touch it. It has a stinger somewhere. The blue dragon, I mean, most sea slugs are fucking fascinating. The reason I knew about the blue dragon was my college that I went to, I didn't specialize. I didn't do a biology degree. I did chemistry, but I had to take a lot of biology classes. It just goes in the bundle. And my school specialized in studying nudibranchs, sea slugs, and algae. Because I'm trying to remember. I'm really pulling it from the depths of my brain. But I believe it's on the Oregon coast. There is a very special nudibranch / sea slug that has evolved to live off of the energy it gets via the photosynthetic energy created by an algae it consumed. So this sea slug is born via an egg by other sea slugs, however the fuck sea slugs do things, and it consumes a certain amount of this algae, and after a while, because the sea slug's back is basically clear, the algae actually becomes native inside the sea slug's back and starts photosynthesizing through the back of this nudibranch, and the nudibranch at a certain point in its life, no longer has to eat anymore. It's kind of becomes symbiotic with the algae in its body. And my school was studying that. So we got news on sea slugs and nudibranchs all the fucking time. But they're really, like, just go to, like, Pinterest or something and type in nudibranch. Is there a more diverse, like, colorful, fucking fluffy, cool group of animals out there? I don't know. They're wild. There's every fucking form and shape, and the way that they move through the ocean, like they're a slug, and then they're like labia mode, and they become a fucking sentient labia, and they just drift off into the ocean. It's crazy. Nudibranchs are wild, wild. I mean, I just think it's kind of gross. I kind of commented on it earlier, again, on accident, the deepfake shit or like the deepfaking voices or faces. I think it's really gross and kind of sad that like this, of all the things in the world that we have at our fingertips to like do as a hobby, like that becomes theirs. Is sad to me. I pity the fool. It's creepy though. It scares the shit out of me. No, emotionally constipated. Hold on. I figured this one out. Hold up. Where is my music coming from? I hear it. What the fuck? Hold on. We're having a hard time. What? I have no idea where the music's coming from anymore. Why do I hear music? Oh my god, it's the game still coming in so fucking low. I couldn't hear it. I could so lightly hear the game. I thought I had music playing. That was very creepy. I really thought I was having an existential crisis. It's the game. Anyways, let's ignore Katie's moment. I'm trying to unmute it. Fuck. This fucking autoplay bullshit's gotta go. It's gotta fucking go, my dudes. It's got to fucking go. Okay, that was good. I'm gonna use that one. That's great. Emotionally constipated. I haven't gotten shit in days. That's fantastic. Dude, dad jokes and puns are the best. I'll stand by it. Guy was making money off it though, which makes it worse than just sad. Makes it a violation. 100% yes, agree. Hard. Yep. I learned about the blue dragon because in middle school, prior to learning how expensive college is, I wanted to be a marine biologist. Me too. That was my second, like, choice after I learned I didn't want to be a veterinarian because I didn't want to put animals down. But it is expensive to be a marine biologist. And to be honest, the job opportunities are not a lot. So probably smart, to be real. It sucks, but it's real. Yeah. It was the fucking game. It was just so low. I was haunting myself. What do you call a cow with no legs? Dinner? Steak. Oh. Ground beef. Shut the fuck up. Okay. Okay. What do you call it? Dog with no legs. A dog with no legs? Sad. I'm bad at these. Shut up. Doesn't matter. He won't come. You know what? He'd give it his best. Willow, you know what? Honest, like, I don't regret any of my education. I wouldn't give it back. Ever. But it does suck. And you know what sucks the most, though? It's not necessarily that education, like, costs. I don't think... Education's an awesome thing. I think everybody should try to take advantage of education where they can. You know what I mean? But... It's like... You get a lot of guilt coming out of college and not immediately getting married, buying a house, buying some property, and immediately like becoming a part of the community. And you are coming out of college with over $100,000 in loans and a communications degree with 0 jobs, because all the jobs are entry level jobs that want 7 years required experience. And it's just like Americans are mostly like fed into this system that just bends us over and fucks us dry until we cry ourselves to sleep every night for the rest of eternity. Accept our fate. Unless you're into that. What do you call a deer with no legs? I don't know. I don't know. No, what do you call a deer with no eyes? No idea. I don't know. A nightmare? What do you call a deer with no eyes and no legs? Still no idea. Nope. A nightmare. Jim? Yeah, we're just like spit out into a failure system. And then the rest of our lives, we try to pay off our student loans and buy a house and buy a car and put our kids into college. And then we're guilted for living beyond our means. And it's like... You know? Strong. Strong. You just fucked. You're set up fucked. I have no idea. Oh my god. I got no idea. Jesus Christ. On a fucking... I didn't even... You guys are better at that. I'm not good at that shit. I think they're funny, but I'm really bad at them. Have you checked your butthole? But I still didn't say it. It's sad. I mean, eventually you get over it and you just move on, and then you get closer to death than you are to birth, and you're just like, it'll happen eventually, and you get over it and you die, and the system perpetuates. I don't see it getting any better. But it is fucked up. Doesn't excuse it, but it's fucked up. And I feel bad because, like, my parents, they came out of college not in the same situation. Like, neither of my parents ever had debt or anything like that, and when they were buying a house, it was like $25,000 to buy a house. And, you know, things get more expensive, but nobody got paid anymore. And it's hard to explain that or get them to see that. What's the meaning of the word procrastination? I'll tell you tomorrow. Jesus Christ on a cock. On that note, I'm going to go walk my dogs before the sun goes down. You guys are sick. Your dad jokes are off the fucking chain. My dad died, so this is great. It is, but don't feel guilty just because my country decided to fuck me. You know what I mean? That's not on you. You live your truth. My country bending me over has nothing to do with anything. You live your love in your life. You know what I mean? We all get fucked. I love you guys. I will see what's tomorrow, Sunday. Tomorrow's therapy day. However, I think it's really early in the morning. Ugh. I think I have therapy literally at 9 when I normally start. So that means we can probably have... It'll be like a 2-hour late stream. So I should be live around 11-ish? Ish. I know. My darkness is just terrible. It's the worst. It's the worst. I try to... That's why I have this. It's misleading. Look how bright and shiny I am. But anyways, yeah. Therapy super early in the morning and then mushy brain Katie afterwards. Maybe I'll find a mush brain game or something. I don't know. We'll find something to do. But take care of yourself. Take your fucking joy. Thank you from the bottom of my weird bay-holes for hanging out with me today. Monday is... I'm not here, but if you follow twitch.tv/TheWanderingIn, I'm in an RP show over there every Monday at noon Mountain Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard. You fucking time zone the rest of that shit, because I am exhausted from that. But you should come check it out. I get to play a snotty fucking teenager, and it's really fun. It's the only time you could ever get me to go back to high school is if you told me I got to be a complete snot. No one can punish me. It's the best. But you should come hang out. So follow that channel. But I'll see you tomorrow, probably. And then Yeah, definitely tomorrow. I just don't know. Probably around 11. Pretty sure my therapy's super early in the morning. We'll play some mush game, and then Sunday RP, and that'll be dope. And then next week is the anniversary of me starting streaming this channel. It's been like 8 years or some shit like that. So we gotta like, I know y'all, I just gotta do something. I don't know. Oh, toss me ideas. The world is cruel. Be good. Take your joy. See you fucks tomorrow.